It looks like this now. It says we're live, so we'll give people a few minutes in here. I'll have a few of my drinks here to kind of get us started. Go ahead and let people know. Start off by apologizing. So I was trying to do this and set up an event so people could have a link to this. I was trying to do this and set up an event so people could have a link to. Okay, that's my phone, so now it's working. So it's the double up there, but yeah, what I was trying to do is I was trying to get this set up and so that people could have a link to this show and so that they could easily find us. I know we're trying to do this under 7 Day Addiction and the media, and then we have the Palo fishing, and then there was an error that I made on the 7 Day Addiction, and so it's like I set it up too late and it wouldn't let me go and do it. It says you have to wait for it's a holding period basically from the time you say you want to
You do
live
that,
stream.
yeah.
They got to do some validations on their side. So I signed up too late for that for today's episode, and I was trying to go live, and it's like, hey, you're still under review to get the approval to do the live video. And I forgot that I had done that with the Palo fishing one. So that's why we ended up kind of delaying this right here. So but yeah, again, next time I'll figure this out. Right now I'm just trying to get all these trying to get some people out here, so I don't know what we can do.
I shared it to the media page and I shared it to the Outfitters page. I guess maybe we can share it to the Palo fishing
let's
page
go ahead
as
and
well.
share it to this Palo fishing page as well too.
The other one's canceled already, right?
Yeah, the other one. Well, the other one.
I don't know.
should be
Is the other one going on?
Just go to YouTube.
Okay,
click on mine and then share it to like Chillin N Grillin. You have like what, 3 followers?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so all 3 of them are going to tune in here, so that would be awesome. So yeah, so
let's go through YouTube.
No, just go to that.
This one, right?
All right,
Go back to my page.
So sorry guys, we had some technical difficulties. We will get this figured out here on the next time. Right now, we're just trying to kind of reconcile my mistakes. Today actually we started off pretty slow. I've had some struggles here. I was trying to get my other camera to work. Had some issues with that one. I had to revert back to the webcam. So we'll still figure it out. We're still learning.
I think definitely. But I think all pages it's been shared to several different pages. My page, my personal one, the 7 Day Addiction one. Mario shared it on the Chillin N Grillin one. So
man, I don't know if it's me. I mean, I just can't get any. I can't get a following, man. So maybe it was Rudy that was the all-star who had all the viewers on the kayak. Because I guess we're Fabian and I know, but nobody wants to hear us talk.
No,
we just like, oh, it's those guys. They're going to talk about fishing and hunting but I don't know. So barbecue is actually a really big topic. So I'm really excited, actually, kind of what we're going to be talking about here, here shortly. So let me just do one more. Check us out. I'm going to share it one last time.
But it was climbing though. It was at 7 climbing.
It was, yeah. The other one was going. It was going well, and now people are like,
what's going on?
What's going on? Yeah. So let's give them a few minutes here just to let them know that I made a mistake. Let's see here. Check us out. Something simple, right? Just check us out. Just let's see here. Let's share this one too. You know what? Let's just let's see where this ends up at. So here I can do it here. I can do it here. Let's see where we get up here. So
all right.
So in the meantime, let's just talk about kind of our drinks today. So we don't have any drink sponsors for the day. So so if anybody's watching wants to be a drink sponsor, so today I'm drinking something clear. So
I don't know what I'm drinking.
It's nice and tasty and relaxing. So we're just going to enjoy this a little bit here while we get folks get tuned in. So
definitely been a long day.
Yeah, this is like I was
cucumber lemon.
Cucumber lemon.
Water.
It's water with a
hydration.
With a nice little kick. So
my skin is getting clearer.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit clearer. So you know what, guys? I think we're gonna be okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And people can come back and tune in on us on a live question. And as people tune in, they can ask questions here. Hopefully, we get this figured out here shortly. But let's go ahead and get started. So today we're actually broadcasting from the Palo fishing, but again, we had some technical difficulties. The idea was to do this under the 7 Day Addiction.
Yeah.
But so this is really the 7 Day Addiction, and we're here talking about competitive barbecuing or competitive grilling. And excuse me for my lingo. I'm probably going to screw things up several times.
No.
And And so I'm gonna rely on you to correct me and just say, hey man, you're wrong. Like don't call it. Like put me in
It's
my place, man.
competitive.
Like I'm very, very humble. So I don't know anything about it. So I'll be asking a lot of questions on it to try to get situated on that. But
For sure.
but yeah, so it's Sam here. We've got Fabian in the house, and
And
then
Mario
and
from
Mario,
Chillin and Grillin.
Mario Chillin and Grillin. So Mario, tell us a little bit about kind of where you ended up in, how you ended up in competitive grilling.
Barbecue wise, we all grew up barbecuing around hunting and fishing, the ranch. We all grew up, well, in my case, barbecuing with my dad and my family. And then I guess cook-offs back then were not as big now. You had 10, 15 teams back in the day. I mean, in the 90s, we'd go once in a while.
So you've been competitive
like not
towards the
no
90s?
no like as a young buck.
Okay, yeah.
As a younger walking around the pan de campo cook-off,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I was around that but never really got into it. But like I
Sorry,
said,
keep
no
rolling.
worries.
That's my phone.
Going into it as we got older, out of high school, whatever it might be, got together playing softball, and a buddy of mine actually had a team that he used to cook for, and he asked me, "You want to go help out?" It was at Smoking on the Reel, one of the biggest here is the biggest so far here in the Valley. Smoking on the Reel was like 200 plus teams at the time in Mercedes, helping out for a couple of years, and kind of wanted to go on my own, wanted to do my own thing. So we invited my other friend of ours, Eddie, settled on. He's the other half of Chillin and Grillin, and like, what do you think? We love barbecue, we love to eat, we're big guys. What do you think about going into this venture of barbecue competition? I mean, we loved it. I mean, there's competition. We're competitive by nature.
Yep.
So like, what do you think about this? And sure enough, he goes, "You go on our own. Just try this." So the very next weekend, we created a team. Actually, it was his boy. He's like, "What about Chillin and Grillin?" And like, you know what? I haven't seen any names like that down here. So I mean, just do it. So we got that name from.
And what year was this?
This was probably 2014.
Okay.
Around 2014, 2015
Yep.
when we first started. So you just go out there, just do it. It was actually, I think it was St. Joseph was our first one back then.
Where's that at?
In Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh.
It was an Edinburgh cook-off, and we had no pits at the time. A backyard, Weber's backyard, just those heavy duty pits that just like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
So we went out there. We had no idea what we were doing. I mean, yes, we knew how to cook, but in the competitive world, we had like, what do we do?
But I would argue that just like being out there is a win, right? So like if it's
Oh,
something
yeah.
you love to do, it's like, you may not be the best or whatever, but just kind of living out like, your dream and your passion.
Oh,
and just-
exactly. And it's the camaraderie that we had, and getting to know, like I said, it's more like a family, and it's not even like, when I say family, these guys are like family. Like,
Yeah.
Short. I mean, they help you out. I mean, you ask them questions. I mean, they're not going to give you everything, but they're willing to lend a hand. And like I said, and it's just our luck that first one we did. Also, I think it was like an actually, I don't even know what it was. A thunderstorm came in. We had a little pop-up tent. We're holding the tent. We're like, oh my god, the security guard
holding the fort
yeah,
down.
we had a little pits underneath, holding a little tent, and the security guard came in. Y'all need to go in your trucks, and we're like, no, we can't let this go. Can't let this go. But we ended up, hitting in chicken, and after that, like I said, we ended up hitting a third in chicken, if I'm not mistaken. My dad went out there. I mean, it was a proud moment, and from then on, we just got addicted to that. And he said, "You know what? We're building a pit." The very next day, they got all the material. My padrino and them, they can know how to weld, stuff like that. So all of a sudden, boom, he made a trailer pit.
Oh, wow. How long did that take?
It took a couple. I would say like maybe 3 months.
Okay, so you guys like went all in.
So
like,
yeah,
almost
we
right from,
went
like, the very beginning.
Yeah,
right?
we went little pits, little backyard pit. Like I said, we put it in the back of the truck, 10 by 10 tent, couple of chairs, some tables.
Yeah. And
let's just do this. And after with that little hit, I mean, like I said, it was big for us because I think it was like 40 some teams, and we went out there and and tried our best. Like we had at the time, we thought we had good product. We were far from good product back then. It was edible, but compared to what we tried back then, like starting off, it was a big difference. And all of a sudden we hit, and like I said, we got addicted to it. They said, let's start making a pit. So we did that, and the ball started rolling from there, and then we started traveling around the valley.
Okay.
You said like, let's do this. Like, what does that mean? Like, I mean, do you have to go
We're
to
all-
a committee? Do you have to do anything
we
like
were
that?
we were all in. Like I said, let's do this. Like, and what I mean by that too, I know there's it's sanctioned.
Okay.
A lot of events that we go to, IBCA, International Barbecue Cookers Association. A lot of these the cookouts that we go to, it's sanctioned because we know there's going to be quality cooks there, and guys that are chasing points. There's a point system.
Okay.
Um,
Is it like what do the points mean?
it,
like, at the
it's
end of
first to 10. At the end of the day, there's 3 categories. There's actually 4. I mean, you got your pork, but you got your pork butt. You got your chicken, your ribs, your brisket, and your pork butt. The pork butt's not really big here in the lower valley, but once you get up there, central, north Texas, stuff like that, there'll be 4 categories that you turn in that they rate and they score you a 1 to 10 low.
And you have to compete in each of these.
If you want a chance to win in the overall grand.
Okay, yeah. Right.
So you accumulate all the points. The more points you get, like I said, they'll call out the overall grand, and ultimately the one with the most points will win. So I mean, if you want a chance to win, if you don't care, so some people that go cook jackpots. So there's jackpots on the side, fajitas, beans,
okay.
desserts. That's like $25 to $50, depending where you go, extra on the side.
Kind of like how Calcutta.
Yeah, like a Calcutta kind of a thing. So people are good at that. So they're, you know what? I'll go help you. I'll go cook the fajitas for you, and I'll help you out. Whatever you need to do.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have teams too that do that and actually go just for the jackpot side of things. But like I said here, I mean, if you want a good cook-off, good rant promoter, stuff like that, you want to go to a section event.
What's up, Angel? Thanks for checking out, man. So we're definitely going to drop some knowledge here. So our goal here is to kind of get you aware of kind of the tools of the trade, and hopefully everybody gets a little bit of knowledge. And we don't want to give them your secrets.
Too much. But I mean, like I said, we've been very blessed. We were able to pull, I think, almost 28 grand championships overall within almost 5 years. I mean, some people go years and years, 10 plus years and barely hit their first grand champion. Like I said, we've been very blessed. We were able to go to Fort Worth for the World Championships in steak. We had the #1 ribeye in 2015, I believe, at high stakes in Edinburgh. We won over 100 and some teams. We ended up getting first.
That's a side pot as well.
It's part of. It's called SCA, the Steak Cook-Off Association with IBCA, and there's 2 sanctioned body. But you have your winner over here with that ribeye. It's golden. Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't love ribeye, right?
And then you got you got IBCA cook-off, and they joined forces, and then like the winner over here would go to the World Championships. So we were blessed to go over there, and that actually ended up winning the appetizer part of it. So we ended up making it. Me and my buddy Eddie, my cooking partner, were like, we might as well just do it. We're here. I mean, there's an appetizer category at the World Championships at the Fort Worth and the Stockyard. So we're like, let's just do it. So we're like, what can we take over there? And we ended up taking some good fajitas. We did the shrimp, jalapeno, cream cheese, and we're like, what can we do? Well, you know how everybody does bacon wrapped shrimp.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we let's put a little kick on it, coming from the valley. So what I did was got a very good fillet knife, thinned out the fajita thin, wrapped it up. Instead of using the bacon, I used the fajita on it.
Okay.
And we did our own little sauce concoction. We done it,
it's got to be really thin. Yeah.
Yeah, real thin. We did a little sauce we made up. We dabbed a little bit. We turned in beautiful, like 6 of them. We turned it in, and I think there's 7 countries there at the World Championships.
Really? Wow.
So our neighbor did like some lobster balls and like all beautiful plates everywhere. We're like looking at each other like, hey, who cares?
You got Emerald over there.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of big guys on TV that we met. Big Bob Gibson. Bob Gibson. There's a lot of cook-off teams that are in the pit masters that were there at the time. They're real nice people we met there. But so I told my partner to go, and we had nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And I think when the scores came out, they called second place, and we're there standing around, and they called our number, and we're like, what? Like, we won by, when the scores, I think we had won by, I think the total, like, I think like 15 points were separated from us to second. So
that's pretty
out of those categories, I mean, we blew out. I'm like, what? I mean, we were celebrating, and actually there, Red Rivers, they provided, in Lubbock, they provided ribeyes and VIPs. They would pay a fee for bracelets, and we would feed them the ribeyes they provided to cook the people that walked around.
Okay.
And they're actually going after the fajita. We cooked a bunch left. We had shrimp, and my dad was there cutting up little pieces, putting together, and we're feeding the public that. And they're like, I mean, I know we're not far from home, but we're good far enough to where they're like, what's this called? And we're like, that's fajita. Oh, I want more of that. I don't want the ribeye. I want more of that stuff. Yeah. And we're like, what? Like, we're freaking out, dude. Like, wow. I mean, we can actually probably make a killing if we would actually go with our call, fajita, over there. And we're like, I mean, they were preferred that over the ribeye. And I really freaked out. Yeah. And we're like, what? That's freaked out over here in Fort Worth. I would think,
it's pretty
cattle.
Yeah. Like they would know, and they were freaking out. Like, hey, no problem. They came by. We had a big line, and it was a pretty cool little feeling, Them being like, "Oh, where y'all from?" We told them a little bit about ourselves, and our neighbor from Oklahoma said, I've been hitting first place fajitas everywhere I go. And we're like, okay. And we had been doing pretty good too, that and he let us try it. And he's like, hey, y'all are sharks. Y'all were tricking me. Y'all you know what you're doing. Like, well, we're not going to boast. We're not going to, come over here and be cocky. I mean, you had your little story. We listened to you. And then, we gave some to his wife and his wife was like, babe, they got you. I don't know. And he's like, man, y'all played us, and they're good people out there.
It's about being out there and having fun, and so that's awesome. So all right. So these 4 categories. So help me understand.
Yeah,
this.
No problem.
So do you have like separate pits or for each of these?
Yeah, some people can actually cook some meats together.
Okay.
We prefer having separate pits because of different temperatures.
Yep.
Like, so what we do is turn in 2 half chickens, separate it. Not conjoined. They have to be separated. The tip, the wing, everything has to be together. You can't be, because they can say it's a marked tray, a marked box if you cut something off, or they can mark it's like a marked tray, right? So conjoin all together. So that we usually cook hotter than low. We do low and slow on our ribs and our brisket, smoking them more than I don't like smoking my chicken. I feel that when some people see that smoke, it's like pinkish color on the chicken. People are like, oh no, it's not cooked. It's that, and they kind of fear that. So I straight up grill ours hot and fast, and have my ribs and my brisket on the separate pit going like at 250, smoking a long period of time.
Right.
Our chicken probably comes out, like I said, we do it so like hot and fast. So you're looking at a whole chicken coming out like in 45 minutes.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, before we used to we know better. We're like, look on the side. It's already 2 hours.
Top,
it's already 2 hours. It's almost done. No, not yet. I mean, it's like 8, and it's all about time too. At the cook-offs, competitive wise, you have your say 12 o'clock is your chicken usually. You got your 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
It's the time that you're allowed to start, or the
time you turn it in.
Okay.
So you got to get things ready. Like I said, if you like doing your smoking brisket overnight, you can. If you want to do it hot and fast, you can. But
do they give you like a limit, like when you can start?
Once you get there, when they expect your meat, you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do.
Okay.
It can be pre-marinated, pre-seasoned, stuff like that. So when you get there, once you can do whatever you want after they see it. Or like I said, so a lot of times now it's on the honor system. You get there, you know better. I mean, you hopefully no one's cheating like that.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they used to actually go by everybody's ice chest and be like, hey, okay, everything's good. Okay, yeah. You can trim, you can pre-cut, trim it, get things ready, but not season it.
Yeah. Okay. So just like okay, good deal. So you said you travel with 2 pits in, with 1 for your chicken and then 1 for your
what we have now after that bit, we used to have a huge a bigger trailer, and it just got it's too much for competition. We're more when we started off, let's have fun, let's party.
Yeah.
And it gets expensive. So we're like, you know what, let's cut down, let's get some good little quality pits and just use what we need.
Okay.
Because like I said, the first time we were making 3 briskets. And for 9 slices, okay, you have to turn in 9 slices of brisket.
You got to choose the best 9 slices.
Yeah, 9 slices of brisket, and then you got to choose 9 slices of your pork spare ribs and 2 half chickens. So when we first cooked off over there, smoking on the grill, also we were doing 3 briskets and like 5 racks of ribs, and we're like, you know what, this is too much hassle. It's taking too much time, and there's too much meat in there, and it's taking longer to cook.
Yeah.
So we got together and said, this is the last time. We met some real close friends of ours that would help us out. Hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? So what we did was, 1 brisket, 2 racks of ribs, started cutting down on the process. And like I said, I wanted a shout out to a lot of guys when we first started, La Ver Que Sale, Chuck and Oki. They helped us out a lot. Danny Lueda, Incognito, helped us out a lot. Getting into that, teaching us. I'm not saying they're secrets, but like, why don't you do this? Try that. Like, cut down your time.
Yeah.
We're here for a competition, not to have. I mean, yes, you can party afterwards.
Yeah.
But if you're here to compete, and it's time to get serious, I mean, I'm not saying you can't have a good time, but I mean, like I said, we're competitive in nature, and we want to win. And that's the whole point of it.
It's like fishing tournaments, man. Like you go out there, like everyone, like you're gonna try to win, but at the end of the day, it's like just about having fun and like whatever.
Exactly.
Like it doesn't matter who gets the whatever first place.
I think you learn as you go. I mean, obviously, I go to these competitions just kind of chill out with them, really. But that when it's turn in time, you kind of leave these guys alone, and and make sure they're able to do their thing. But it
Yeah.
does get pretty serious and pretty scientific is something I learned because I mean,
Yeah,
these
it's
guys are
not just
literally
burning meat.
going with time and calculating things. I see this guy walking in steps, trying to figure out how long is it going to take to get to the judges table. It's different things like that they do, but I think it makes a difference. At the end.
The science on that, like the timing and you have to put all that in consideration and where the parts of the valley where you're at, on flavor profiles.
So what does that mean? Like different parts of the valley, like
okay,
kinds of,
yeah,
like,
you go to La Jolla, you go over here to Brownsville, you go mid, the mid central, like not Texas, but mid valley, West Coast. You have to cater to your client, not your clientele, but the judges there are probably going to be more like, I would say, like, okay, yeah, you mainly, let's say, like rancheros or ranchers and stuff like. They're not going to want your sweet or whatever. You really think like bold and hot and spicy. You kind of play to the crowd that's judging or that little area, or like Winter Texans. If you see a crowd of Winter Texans, you're not going to really want anything hot. You're like, okay, those are the kind of judges that are judging today. Like maybe.
So how do you know? Like like the judges are.
Well, you
talked about Winter Texans.
You'll see them getting ready under the huge wherever event we're at. It might be under a tent, it might be inside the building, but you'll see them gathering up the judges per category.
Really?
So you have a chance to be like, okay, well, my partner Eddie, he walks it in and he'll be like, okay, there's a lot of Winter Texans. I'm like, oh, okay, we gotta knock it down a little bit. We can't do it too spicy.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah.
And okay, the next category, it will be ribs. Okay, who's like, well, we have females going. And like, okay, what will females? You try to see what they would want to cater to them.
But you get to scan the judges. A little bit,
yeah. You see you'll see who's there. You'll see who's there judging beforehand, and they kind of get them there. Like let's say 15 minutes before the turn-in. So if you're close to the turn-in, if you're close to the turn-in, you can see who's going to judge it. And they'll give them a good, they let them know what to expect. They go down, the head judges will go down the table and say, look, you look for this aroma, presentation, and then we don't put greens underneath it, just a foil and then the meat on top.
Oh, okay.
The taste, how it, they put those into the factors, and then you write your score down. Yeah. So you kind of see who's there beforehand, so you kind of cater to that.
Yeah, I would imagine that makes it really difficult, right? So it's like so when you fish like a tournament, we keep referring to fishing.
Yeah.
But this is your redfish, right? It's not like your redfish has to be 28 or less, right? Whatever. But this is like, all right, like you're gonna go catch a redfish, and then like, okay, you know what? Like 10 minutes before the weigh-ins are like, you know what? We're gonna say 27 and a half, right? Like you don't know, like you have an idea of like what you're trying to prepare for, but like because it's that's level of subjectivity changes so much based on who you're.
And that's what I tell them, and it would be very frustrating to me. I think I talked to you about that.
Yeah.
To actually become like and these guys have been, but to become a student of the game, because you don't know, it's a random choice. I mean, I got chosen a couple times. You're walking around, hey, you want to be a judge? That's all it is. And I keep telling this guy the same thing. You pick my wife, you're screwed.
Yeah,
because my wife likes everything burnt.
Me, it's one way. If you pick her, it's like
because you could be used to backyard barbecue, and people like, I like it burnt. Like my mother-in-law, I like it burnt. What? Yes, I want to toast it. And so you get someone like that. That one point can just throw you off the ball game, and there goes your grand champion, or there goes your first or your second place.
No, like what would you? I mean, obviously you started grilling because you enjoyed it or whatever it was, backyard type of grilling. Mm-hmm. What would you tell somebody? Let's say I want to start competition grilling next year. I know I do backyard grilling. That's it.
Yes.
What is the biggest difference between the two?
I would think the biggest thing is like I said, I would say 90% I would say around 90% of the people there know how to cook. Yeah. You got to be consistent with your all your meats. And like I said, don't cook as in large quantities of stuff, because especially if you're on your own, the time is precious. So you gotta cut, prep, slice, whatever you need to do to your meats. And you have to be on top of stuff. It's not like, let it, whatever. If you're really serious about competitive barbecue, you got to throw a lot of those factors out and be focused. I mean, my partner and I, my compa knows what to do when I'm doing. We're like I said, we know each other.
Yeah, so he's doing this.
I'm doing that. I don't have to tell him. He doesn't tell me. We know what needs to get done.
But is this a two-man team?
It's a two-man team. My dad would go for a long time, and then he just likes to And it was more gay. Yeah, it was more gay in the way. I mean, we had, like I said, Fabian go out help also, another friend of our, Hector. I mean,
But it's
Phil.
2 men, and you can have several helpers.
No, you can have, it's one main head cook, and you can have a whole family.
Okay.
You can have as many, or it could be one person. You know, there's a lot of great cooks out there that just one man team. And and like I said, I don't know if he's ready to, but Fred Robles out of Wesco just won the biggest world championship cook-off in the freaking world over there. Yeah, the American Royal, Kansas City American Royal.
Oh, Kansas
But almost
too, yeah.
almost 500 teams.
Wow.
Like the Super Bowl of he's out of Wesco, Real Valley Meats.
Shout out to
Real Valley Meats in Wesco. He's it couldn't happen to a better guy. And
awesome.
He I mean, like I said, he's like in a different ball game.
And that's what goes back to the point, like I've been in these competitions with these guys, not been in them, but been there. And I see someone like him not get a call.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. How in the heck does Fred Robles not get a call? And he just won Worlds 2 weeks ago.
Exactly.
I bet now things will change right after winning Worlds.
So
people recognize this name now.
Yeah, I mean, you go to a cook-off and you know the names already.
Yeah.
I mean, even like I said in tournament fishing, those guys, like the team names, like, oh, those guys, they've won big tournaments,
Yeah.
So in the barbecue game, who's who.
Who's good.
Yeah. When they're pulling up and you're like, okay. You're like, oh, okay. So you better be on.
So do you guys kind of like judge people based on like, you're not judging, but kind of like put them in a box based on like the equipment they have and like the
you're looking at, like I said, an old smoky or an old, like a pit that costs $100 to where thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, it's crazy.
But you
the
treat
pits.
everybody the same, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you know how to cook, you know how to cook. Doesn't matter. Like I said,
right.
An old Weber or a $10,000 Jambo pit. What we did, we're going to get, they're out of Houston, a pit maker. And we were going to invest in that. It's like a vault. It's like, and it has water. It does all this, and you put a pan in there. And it's just so insulated, well made. And it's like $4,000 for a little square box, Yeah. But it cooks like, a gem. So I
know people that spend $1,000 for their backyard barbecue.
Oh yeah. So it's still it's good. So I'm like, what, we need to do something like that. So we got one of our guys, Balde Pro Pit, making us one, and he was one of our good friends and sponsors. So he made us a torpedo smoker and a little, what I call it, frijol pro pit also for chicken and fajitas, something I can grill and something we can smoke on.
Yeah.
And let me try that because it was way cheaper than investing in those kind of pits. So from
expensive,
because everybody's using them, and they'll be coming down from the big cook-offs. People were coming down from Houston area, all these people, and they had those nice rigs.
Yeah.
And we're like, man, those are beautiful, and they look like, they're barely putting any fuel, like charcoal or wood. They're barely using 3 or whatever 4 pounds of wood, and it lasts 7 hours. Yeah. And I'm over here 40 pounds of charcoal, all these wood, and then barely making like an hour or 2 hours of a cook, and I have to do it again. So when I got that pit, I go, you know what, I'm going to try 1 year with him, and we'll see how this goes. And since day one with that pro pit, he's from out of Edinburgh, and it just blew up. I mean, consistently, like I said before, I would put 40 pounds to start off a pit. And now, 3 pounds and then one little log of hickory or oak, whatever we use, pecan, and it will last, good 3 or 4 hours. And then, feed again. And so we were blessed with that. So we never invested in those
the bigger pits. To manage with what you had,
what we had.
What you could,
And like I said, there's amazing cooks out there that don't have the resources to invest.
But even at that, I think having that kind of equipment would have to you'd have to change your game, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's no longer the same. It's like getting used to shooting with a little rifle, right? Whatever, and then now you can buy a big expensive rifle. You have to learn it all over again, right? So you're better off I trust my what
you're comfortable with that, and you've been winning, so why even change it? And then we're super we're not going to change it. No, we've been blessed, we've been doing that. So you know what? Why even go somewhere else? Even though those other pits are awesome too. It's no, why change it if it's working?
Yeah. Now going back to the pit, and I think this will help a lot of people. Maybe even get started back out there. You mentioned torpedo, and I'm asking this question now. I know what it is, but I didn't know when I first saw it. This thing looked odd.
It looked like a torpedo. Now I would say torpedo because it's just one big cylinder. He said he named the torpedoes. We had an offset before. What it means is there's a chamber and there's an offset, like a box on the bottom. And there's a hole, and you feed the fire, and the smoke goes in. And he came up with the concept of a torpedo. It's one big circle chamber, and it looks like a torpedo kind of. So, and then he made it to where it can still smoke on the side, and it can get hot enough to actually grill. Like you can actually
Really?
get that
On the
hot
lower- on the
and
bottom?
have nothing on the bottom and get that hot so you can actually cook stuff. So he's like, so let's do the torpedo. Let's do it.
How
First,
long is it? Just so we can put it in the
I have like
context.
it's like mine's like at least 4.5 feet.
4.5
feet.
and how hot?
And it's a 30, I have a 20, I want to say 26 or 24 inch,
2 feet, yeah.
the chamber.
Yeah.
And the circumference of this, and then probably, and that, and what he did was, and when I say torpedo off the offset, and
Wacky.
and the offset one that we had, we weren't able to use all the score footage in there
Yeah.
because it was so hot, it was burning the meat.
Yeah, okay.
So
So he put it on
he-
the very end.
He
on the
kind
opposite
of
side.
engineered his own little way, so now we have the whole space to cook without it burning.
What, did you just like choke it back differently?
Well,
or,
he
like,
the how he made it and I guess how he welded stuff in there. I mean, I'm at a welder's, right? So,
Yeah.
but like the way he designed it is that I can actually use more of the square footage in that pit
Okay,
than I
and-
did before. Like I was wasting this much space in a pit because it was too hot right here,
yeah,
and I would burn the
it's like
brisket.
direct and indirect.
Yeah,
You can just
exactly.
kinda change
And this
that
is
up, yeah.
100% indirect. And I was very fascinated with when I saw the pit because I didn't understand it when I first saw it because they put absolutely nothing underneath, But this torpedo or this pit that he made, it's literally almost closed off.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And
just
then it
like
has just
choked
a
up
small
all the
little
way.
section
Yeah,
on the bottom.
yeah.
That's where everything's coming
And
in.
it can, you can have the best of both worlds and not worried about burning the bottom.
And is that kind of choke adjustable where you can adjust it?
You
Like-
that I mean, you can. It's always open.
Okay.
The first one he had, you can actually turn and stuff like that. But the newer one that we have, it just the way it
Just
is, the way it is.
fixed, okay.
Yeah, and you have a little smoke box there to have some ventilation coming in to keep the fire going.
Okay.
But like I said,
It's amazing.
we said it. We said it and forget
It
it.
sounds like so. Does he sell them like this?
Yeah,
or
he
is
sells.
this-
He
okay.
sells them. I think he should be still selling them. And like I said, he does backyard pits. He does trailers. There's a lot of welding. Anything you need, he'll help you out. But like I said, it's an awesome backyard pit as well to cook in the backyard. But like I said, it's that pit worked for us. And like I said, I tell everybody, what do you use to come in to check the pit? Like, this is what I use, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm I'm gonna back this pit because you know what? It's one.
Yeah, it's a
proven.
tool, right?
It's a
there's
proven.
like-
It's proven winner. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Even though, like I said, if I'm not even using it, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Like, hey, that pit's it works. So I'm there to help out people too. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to them and be like, oh no, it's awesome and it doesn't even work as well as I'm saying. But even like I said, the smaller one, it's a 30 inch that I do my chicken and ribs. One little I forgot the name. The little basket, a basket of charcoal. I mean, it'll be like a 350, 375 for hours.
Oh wow.
So even when we take off our chicken, you can start. Hey,
But
yeah,
something like that's good for like chicken, something like
yeah,
long
yeah,
cook type
yeah.
thing,
Like that stuff. That stuff is good. I mean, like the smaller one. I mean, it's just as good as your Weber's. Weber's are good. They keep heat too, but that one that we do our chicken and fajitas on and steaks on, like that little basket, like I said, lasts you. That's
No,
how
the-
well built that pit is.
The torpedo, can that be something used in a backyard grill? And again,
Oh, yeah.
Thinking about family that wants things now.
Now,
Can
I
you
mean,
do that?
you
With
can
that,
you
or-
can always like I said, you can always put the fire hot. And like I said, and there's actually a space underneath. You can actually put your charcoals underneath also. You don't have to
Okay.
do indirect heat. You can actually go underneath like
you can
that.
do both, right?
Yeah.
That sounds actually
But
really
like
cool. So you
I
can-
hardly do that because I use it strictly for
yeah, but-
competition.
yeah, right.
So I just use it the smoky part of it. But like I said, you can get as hot as that. I mean, real hot to where that indirect heat's going to cook it just like if you had charcoal underneath. So I mean, either way you can do either or your preference. But we use it strictly for competition. So we never put charcoal underneath our grill
Yeah.
when we cook on that torpedo.
And just so we're clear, so it sounds like competition grilling, like the rules are, your pit has to be. You can't have a gas pit.
Well, that's a touchy subject also. No, no gas grills.
No gas grills.
But there is pellet smokers out
Right,
there
yeah.
that are legal and I think
Legal across the board, or
an
is this certain-
IBCA,
an
I think
IBCA?
KCBS, that's another sanction. I think
Yeah.
they are all. And what they were saying is they're using electricity to use it, and there's an auger that feeds the
Right,
pellets to smoke it. And that was the issue with a lot of stick burner cooks like myself when they're I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just that people are saying like, well, how is that fair when someone's manning a pit, a stick burner, and feeding it, and you have to kind of work it where you just set it and forget it.
Yeah,
That was a main issue that they had brought it up, and
yeah,
and they
it's
went
fire control, temperature control.
Yeah,
type thing.
so when that pellet smoker came out, That was the issue, but it got approved. I think they even took it to the board and tried to see if they can ban them, because ultimately, like their problem was like, okay, so if they don't have no electricity, no generator, how they're going to cook it? You can't use it anymore. So and ultimately, it comes down to like, if something happens and if something goes out, well, I know my pit's going to still work.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not gonna have no problem with electricity. I mean, it's a stick burner. I'm not gonna have no problem with water, if it's raining, stuff like that. But I mean, we've been lucky enough to have a RecTech pellet smoker.
What's that?
It's a pellet smoker, RecTech. That's what the company, RecTech Grills, and it works awesome too. I would use it at the house. I won't take it out to competition because of that.
The weather
of the weather thing, and then friends
people look at you.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, well,
it's kind of like fishermen, like with bait, right?
Exactly.
I mean, I like to throw. I'm a chunk. What do they say? Bait chunker. Yeah, that's what I do. But I mean, that's that. I think just, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying I'm gonna get a lot of. From the friends.
I don't know about this guy.
They're gonna talk a lot of crap now if I take a pellet smoke. But like I said,
if you win, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're good. It's a good source of a machine to cook on. I mean, they do their job, and it does wonders. Those kind of pellet smokers, but preferably, I mean, I would use. I'm a stick burner guy.
Yeah. So like, if you look in my backyard right here, I've got 3 grills, right? And you would think that I'm a competitive grill, but I'm not, right? So, so I've got a little charcoal grill, a little Weber once, and I won it in a raffle, and it's never been used. I've had it there for 2 years under a cover, and actually I think it's probably all rusted by now. I haven't opened it, right? But and then on top of that, like, I've got a Weber gas grill. And that's what I used. I mean, that's what I barbecued on for many years. And then just like a year and a half ago, I got a Traeger. And like now, like, that's what I use all the time. And it's just like,
you can do whatever in there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, well, not only that, like, it's like you said, set it and forget it, right? So for me, like, I go and, like, typically my barbecue style is like, I'm going to turn that on. And then once it comes up to temperature, I'm going to put the food on there, and I'm just going to look at my watch and just pop back some beers and drink it. We'll kind of hang out a little bit and socialize. And then, like, all right, food's ready. And, like, just go and open it up. And
there's even some that have Bluetooth. I don't know if yours does.
Mine does.
Okay, you can actually be shopping like, okay, let me put that 350, and just make sure your hopper's full of pellets, and you're good to go. So they have made some that actually you can do. You can be wherever and just set it. I mean, with your phone, you can turn it off or put it hotter, or whatever the case may be. So it's a pretty cool little machine.
Absolutely, man. So like, and they're pricey though, right?
Oh yeah.
So like, if you have the money and to do that, I definitely, from my personal experience, it just kind of makes it easy.
It's convenient.
Like, it's absolutely.
Yeah.
It just makes
convenient.
it easy to barbecue. But again, like, I know people are going to
Now,
come
do you
over.
get the same flavor?
Oh, actually, you get like a smoky flavor. Actually, Angel came over to my house. He's tuned in here, and we made some chicken the other day, and it was like the slow cook, like, and it came out pink, like the way you said it. But I checked it and it was good. And like, it went fast, like, and an Angel said it was the best chicken he's ever had. And I think he's lying to me, but but anyways, but Angel, you can drop a comment. Actually, he was interested. He was going to go look at him and check him out, but he's like, man, this is good. And I said, man, and he was out here because he was with me, and we set it, we turned it on, and we put it on, and we drank beers, we chatted. So, are you ready to eat? And we ate, and it was cool like that. But again, like, it's just like, it's almost like I get it for convenience. And I know a lot of people would frown upon it.
I think for backyard grilling, I mean, it's just whatever is best.
And they make, like I said, you can't do that on a stick burner where you can actually mix. I mean, you can throw different woods in there, but I wouldn't see the purpose of that. But on the pellet grill, you can actually put like a mixture of apple, cherry, hickory, like all these combined mixtures, and put in the hopper and have that flavor if you want to. You have access to that. But in the stick burner, you can. I mean,
Angel says it wasn't me; it was the pit. It was with me. So, hey, Angel, if you actually have any other questions, Adam here, or if you want me to call you, I can call you up, and you can join in here and then ask any questions you might have here along the way.
Well, I think maybe start getting into the nitty gritty of things. I mean, I think a lot of people would want that. Of course, we're never going to ask you to give us your 100%. No secrets or anything like that.
The secrets to success.
But I think maybe of the three top ones, I think that's what we grill outside. And your chicken, your brisket, your ribs.
Your ribs, yeah.
Is there like one thing that you would do differently from a regular backyard to a competition that might make a regular backyard griller like me give that rib a better taste? Just one thing.
Better. I would say. I think it all comes down to.
Let's go with ribs first.
Ribs, I would think. I mean, for sure. I mean, if you don't do it now, take out the back membrane. You put seasoning in the back, in the front, so you can get flavor all throughout. I would say that's one thing with the ribs. And like I said, I think the backyard everybody loves fall off the bone.
Yeah.
Like when, oh my lord, oh look, it falls off the bone. And like they said, the Texas crunch is kind of what they say with foil. If you like your color on your ribs, I would say wrap it for a little bit, let it get a little bit tender, and take it out, let it sit, and then I mean you can make it tender if you use your foil too. I think you're a
So
winner.
you use foil up front before. So
I would say grill, or if you want to grill or smoke with your preference,
Okay.
season it up, whatever you like. If you like the smoky, some people don't like the smoky. Some people just like straight up grill it.
Yeah.
I would say after you have it cooked to where you want it, I would say fold it up and put some. I would say apple juice or whatever kind of juice you want on the bottom so it doesn't burn, and you can actually wrap that up for a little bit and whatever, depending on the temperature you're cooking also. You don't want to overdo it because then you'll burn it. But you kind of baby it, feel it, and when you have that tenderness that you want, pull it out, and put it back on the pit. And I guess
Out
whatever
of the foil.
with
So you
under
cook
the
it,
foot,
and then
yeah,
you put it back in the foil. You put some juice in there.
exactly.
Take it out. You put it back.
Put it back on top of the pit, so where that in that point you can actually use whatever sauce, jelly.
You put that on while it's still
When
cooking.
when you put it back in the last thing I would do is put it back on the pit so it can kind of tighten up just a little bit more, so you actually cut the rib. Because
Okay.
if you leave it in that foil too long,
It's-
yeah, you can't even you're just throwing out the bones.
Yes.
That is not a good thing to eat like that. But
Yeah.
you just, I mean, if you wanted to have a bone and a bite through, beautiful bite through, I would say do that. Just constantly check it out, and while it's in the foil, and then just babysit it and then take it out when you have that right consistency, the tenderness, and actually glaze it with whatever. Like I would say 5 to 10 minutes with a glaze on it, whatever sauce you like, and let it sit back in that pit at low temperature. Don't let it
You're cooking it at low temperature the entire time.
like I said, I would say in my case I'm doing it like at 250 300.
Okay.
But if you want to straight up grill it, just you got to be careful.
Okay.
You're not burning. Yeah. You want to straight up grill, you grill it, and then like I said, once you're at that point where you put it back on the foil, when you're ready to take it back out, I would take out some charcoal.
Okay.
Or take out leña or whatever you're using, so it won't be that hot, because then you're gonna end up burning it.
Okay.
I would say
So
just
even if you're using like a charcoal grill or whatever it is you're using, you always have a thermometer.
I mean, I have, well, the ones I have it, but we've been doing it so long, it just by eye. I mean, when oh hey, it's getting dark, flip it.
Okay.
You kind of see it's but once you start doing it, you kind of know already the timing,
Okay.
how much charcoal you're putting. If you use one basket and it's too hot, next time do half a basket. Or you want to add some. You get pecan chips, or with the flavor wise, you can get apple chips. I know they sell different kind of chips or little logs you can actually throw on and they'll get that flavor as
Okay.
well. So you could do. I mean, the sky's the limit.
And when you're putting these chips in, like you put them in like in batches, or just like you said, small
Once,
little batches.
I'll put them let's say if you're straight up grilling, I'll put them there like on the bed where the brasas are at, where the fire's at, where the charcoal's burning,
Yeah.
and you'll see that smoke coming up. And
Yeah.
it gives it kind of a flavor. If you're doing chicken, you can do applewood, apple chips, stuff like that. I mean, there's different flavors for different meats.
I've got Victor. Victor, you have a question? Go ahead and type it in here. Victor wants to know how he calls in. And actually, if you want to call in, Victor, just call me and I'll put you in. So just call me on my cell phone here. And,
I think Victor just wants to be on camera.
Victor he's going to be on audio. So, so the other thing that, so we talked about that. And so actually I want to go back into more tips for so we talked about ribs, but I would imagine it all starts with your meat selection, like how you choose your meat, or is that not
No,
important? It's more important how you prep it.
Well, like I say, when you're talking about a backyard, that doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Because I mean, any kind of choice or select or that work for the family,
Yeah.
When you go to competitions, you want the best meat out there. You want prime. You want Wagyu. Angus, certified Angus. You want those good quality meats, because you know what. You want to have the best product out there to start off with, because if you're going and these people are using awesome,
everybody else,
Wagyu, using the grade of meat, A5, and I'm going with the choice. I'm like, the intermuscular fat inside it.
But if you win,
then you're like, hey,
go.
That's a funny story, because my cooking partner, he's always about that. So I think we're low on funds that time. And I go, yeah, I got a Wagyu. Okay. And I think it was at a big cook-off. I think it was at High Stakes. There was 100 plus teams, and I had cooked a choice. It was like some $30 brisket. And like I said, what you said, it happened. We hit I think it was fourth place brisket and it was a choice.
Yeah. Because
So-
everything else tastes the same, right?
Yeah,
And
at that
yours
point,
tastes-
yeah.
it's
And I was
"Oh,
like-
this tastes different. Like this
and I'm not joking. I mean, when you cut it, it looked beautiful too. So
Yeah.
you can get lucky with those lower end kind of meats. You know, you don't always have to buy that. But like
Yeah.
I said, I mean, you know, going in there with that kind of product, you know, you have kind of like an advantage, or up there with them, at least a fighting shot, because you can kind of tell once you cut it and the fat inside the content is just like butter, and then compared to something that's real lean and hard, like your
There's a
lower
reason
end
it's
cuts.
cheaper, right? There's a reason
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, it just depends. But like I said, at the backyard aspect of it, I mean, whatever you can afford or whatever's in your budget, I think. I mean, you can make anything work.
And
A flavor profile.
So do you prefer to choose like for backyard grillers? So like obviously you go to like some of these meat markets here and like they've
Yeah.
got marinated and like unmarinated, and like where do you stand on that?
I like personally using our own seasonings.
Okay.
But like if you're, like I said, if you like that marinade already, if you're short on time and you don't have time to do all that stuff, I would say go marinate. But and even you can even buy the cheaper, let's say fajita part.
Yeah.
You can buy your cheaper cuts of fajita, and what they call is a jacar. It's like 5 million razors, and you're kind of puncturing the meat. So ultimately you're tenderizing the meat. You can actually
So you take this meat, you tenderize
you
it.
tenderize it. You can use that jacar on it and then season it.
Okay.
And then leave it like that. And then
And for fajitas, you use a dry season, or
I
do you
usually it's a
marinate
dry.
it?
It's our dry. We have no liquid on our ones at home. We do kind of make a little liquid on the. If we're gonna compete, we kind of want that.
Okay.
We do that. Like I said, we'll take it there. We'll do what we need. Season it up. We'll have a little concoction there of flavors.
And do you make your own seasons?
We combine them. We don't grind them and everything.
Okay.
Like we have certain products that we get and we
okay.
kind of make our own little.
What about, is there like a good one, like off the shelf type all season that you would recommend?
What's real good is Oak Ridge Barbecue has some good seasonings.
Oak Ridge Barbecue. You can pick that up at
that's ordered online.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah, those are not. I don't know if South Texas Outdoor Kitchen. There's 2 of them. One in San Juan, I think in Mission.
Okay.
They have everything there. Like as in competition, backyard grillers. They have different the eggs. They have Traegers. They have. I mean, all these pits there. So it's like a candy store for us, barbecue. And they have all the competition seasonings, sauces, jelly, sprays, you name it.
Is that stuff like priced accordingly?
So, okay, yeah, that's another thing. It's not going to be your $2 seasoning bottle, seasonal.
That's what we like to pay, right?
Yeah. I mean, and there's just so many flavors and products out there like that you can actually go out there and get, that and use it, and like honey chipotle or some weird other flavors combination, pecan, whatever. And they actually pretty good on your whatever meat, fish. They're good for, your seafood, your poultry, your brisket. I mean, and it's all like an all purpose. There's a bunch of them out there.
Okay.
What we use also, that's not a secret, is our Incognito Championship seasoning, Danny Lueta out of San Juan.
Okay.
He sells it at the cook-offs, and we use it on all 3 meats. I'm not gonna lie.
Outside of the cook-off, is there?
He used to have a website. I don't think he has it up no more. So usually, if you see him at a cook-off, he'll sell to people that are there. He'll make bags there.
Good stuff.
But like I said, it's some good stuff. I think my compa used it at the house for everything. Also, yeah. So that's one. I can give you one tip. Yeah, that's one seasoning you do use on all 3 meats, and that's not a lie. I mean, it's real good also.
Okay, so Danny Lueta, shout out to him.
Yeah, San Juan, out of San Juan.
So we'll figure out how to get hold of him, and he might.
If you're ever, and like I said, the guys there, and like I said, we're all for helping out people too. And like I said, if you're going to the valley around here and it's sanctioned, he's going to be there. Yeah. They're at the cook-offs everywhere. So if you go by one of those cook-offs, you can actually hit us up also, and we might have a bag or 2 and some of the other guys.
We'll have to reach out to Danny. Maybe we can carry some of his seasoning at our shop, man. Like just a little. Because
these people are from the valley, like I said, and local people, and they're good people. Like I said, he took us under his wing too, and not just us, a lot of people, and gave us, words of wisdom and helped out. And like I said, our game was good, and it just got better knowing those people, And I want to take this time too to say, like, another friend of ours, Marco Casanova, no nonsense barbecue. I mean, he helped. He was a good brisket cook too. Like, hey, why don't you try this thing? So people help out people.
Absolutely.
And you go, you know what, Copa? That's a good idea. I'll try this out, and then started working.
You know, word you need to learn is compa. That's all.
Oh, they're all compas. They're all compas and preems.
Well, it's funny, right? Because I make a fishing rod and it's called compadre, right? And it's made because of that, right? Like the way I look at it is like your compadre always like he's got your back. He's help you out, whatever. And he's always willing to help, and he's like you can always count on him, and that's that's kind of what we.
Yeah, like I said, and another tip also is when we're
for you're competing.
I know, right? But I mean, I want.
But now I'm a little bit curious if he's giving us the right.
Whoa, no. No. I am.
None of it's too much, but like maybe he's steering us in the wrong direction. He's like,
go that way. Go that
way. Go by the.
No, there's a lot of good people out there, and like I said, like even when we're up and coming, also, Rolly. Another shout out to Rolly de Rivera here for the beer, with our chicken. He goes, "Why don't you try that?" And we tried it. Like, oh shoot,
that's good. Yeah,
it's good, and we were blessed with chicken calls up and down, ribs, and when we were going hardcore, I would say 2 years ago, maybe we're actually trying to go weekend to weekend.
That's when you were number 8, right?
Yeah, we ended up number 8 in the state, and like third in brisket in Texas, and all. I mean, number 5 in ribs, or I don't even know, like 7th in chicken in the IBCA, with the whole organization. So, and if we could have done more, I think we would have been up there. I think not to, pat us on the back, but I feel that if we had a chance to actually do something like compete in a daily basis, like every weekend, like a lot of people are blessed to do, I think we could be up there every year. I really do.
Because I know he's not going to do it, but I mean, that year, I think that's the year that we came on board with this guy, or he came on board with us. It was awesome to see that he only competed, I would say, about 40% of the year.
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Like
because every weekend. You're looking at every in the here. I would say out of it was like 80% of the cook-offs were valley-wide, and they have their regions out of Texas. I think IBC. I don't know. It goes to Louisiana also, but there's regions everywhere, and you're looking at, man, I would think maybe is it 52 weeks out of the year?
I don't know.
Or 56 weeks out of the year?
52,
52, something like that. But you're looking at like 40 some weekends. There's something cook off.
Wow. Yeah.
So you don't have weekends off.
Yeah,
I mean, you're looking at all those weekends. There's a cook off here or up north or Kingsville or anywhere, So I mean, we didn't have a chance to do that all the time. I mean, because work and stuff like that, and we have responsibilities.
But still, 40% is a lot.
Well, I mean, but the thing is that like the ones who are like the 1 through 5, let's say.
Oh, we're able to go. Yeah, they're able to go every weekend.
And these guys were able to do that. Be number 8.
Okay,
only going.
Okay, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
time,
it was cool, and then, like I said, we I think the best thing that we've been is that we've been consistent with our cooks. Every cook-off we've been consistent where we've been in the top 10 a lot of times, and ended up being blessed with first place and what they call reserve grand. That's runner-up, reserve grand. I mean, we've been blessed to have that. Like I said, and not too many people have that opportunity to walk like that. And that's why I feel that, like some of the people that we've helped out too on the way, it was a chance for us to give back to them too. Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying give them everything, but to help them out, because people helped us.
You out,
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Paid forward. Absolutely. Yep.
Paid forward. So that's why our other buddies that we got on board with Famous 7 Day Addiction was Sons of Smoke, Matt. I remember we first met them in San Benito years back, and and like I said, there was like 4 a.m. They're walking by drinking. We're like, what these guys are doing? I go, these guys are, and we ended up meeting them like that, and then ended up being awesome guys. And then we started hanging out more, and then they came on board also. I like, look, Fabian, I think these guys represent you well as well. And and then we took with him with 7 Day Addiction also. So I mean, there's a lot of good people out there in the barbecue world.
So would you call your love or your passion for grilling an addiction?
It is definitely addiction. Yes, it's addiction to where my compa Eddie, he'll call me, be like, dude, whenever we're gonna cook, I can't take it. I miss it so much. And I go, I feel you, man. Yeah. Right now we haven't had a chance to, but it is an addiction. We'll cook at the house. Yeah. He'll make sure, like, hey, just bring a ribeye and we'll cook it. Like, he needs to cook.
It's good having friends like this.
Well, the other question I have is like this, like being a competitive, like, barbecue, or I don't know, excuse me if I don't use the right term.
No,
a competitive barbecue, or like, does that affect your like regular barbecues? Like, hey, it's football, we
Well,
want to
see-
barbecue, and like, no, I can't do it this way.
Well,
Like, I have
because
to- I
yeah,
have to,
because
like-
you're always gonna have critics. That's
Yeah.
another thing. Oh, this guy's winning, and it tastes like this. You're always gonna. That's our big. I think that our
Yeah,
biggest
right.
fear. But we've been okay. But like I said, in
Your
competition,
deal, man. Like,
yeah, it's more. I wouldn't, like I said, a lot of people say like I wouldn't want to eat competition barbecue like a normal barbecue because it's one bite. These people are doing one bite, so
Yeah.
you try to put as much flavor
into that
in that one bite.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna eat like that at the house.
Yeah, you got your
Yeah,
potato salad,
you got
your
yeah.
macaroni,
I
your
mean,
rice,
so
your beans,
you're
and
good.
everything else on
You
top
won't.
of it.
You won't. I don't think you'll be able to. I mean, yeah, you can probably kill the whole rib, but like the chicken or the brisket, like you're like, okay, one bite, I'm good with one bite. So because we try to put, as like you said, as much punch into that for that judge to judge and get us to the next round.
I will say this
So-
before we go to the next meat. I mean, Max, no offense, but I think that their rib is probably the best I've tasted. And I wasn't a rib guy.
Yeah.
And damn,
But
it's
shit,
good.
like I'm waiting to see when are we gonna
but,
make some
but
ribs.
you know what? We are. We
Yeah,
have
we
to.
now we will. We will.
But
Maybe for
yeah.
a grand opening. That
Yeah,
makes
hell
sense.
It does mess you up, man.
hell yeah.
Like, I don't want to buy a steak anymore. Like, I'm gonna go pay $40, $50 for a steak. And I'm like, this guy made it for free, and it's a lot better.
Well, it's free to you. Like someone had to pay
Yeah.
for that meat. And for
No,
that food.
it's
So-
a good thing.
So let's talk about that really quick. So obviously, like I can see where this would be an expensive hobby, right? So like in addition to like the equipment and like traveling all over the world or like all over the country, like meat, man. Like whenever I barbecue for like
Mhm.
people, it's like, man, it's almost like 50, $60 alone. And that's not if I'm
Yeah.
just making chicken, right?
Yeah.
And so like how do you guys have sponsors for
Okay,
meat?
that's a good thing you said because like on top of being blessed in the cooking world, we've been blessed with sponsors
Okay.
like Fabian, Aguilar's Meat Market.
Shout out to
yeah,
I buy my
Aguilar's
meat
Marco.
there.
I have to say he caters to the cooks. If you need something, he'll do his damn best to get something for you.
Good deal.
And that's why I said, you know what? And I would say he's a good friend, and he'll help me out in the way of as in getting what I need.
Yeah.
Not even like I said, a monetary thing or a sponsor like that. He does.
It's like I need this meat. with
Yes,
this
can you
cut,
get
right?
it
Yeah,
tomorrow? He
Yeah.
goes, I'll do the best I can. And and he's a man of his word. And like I said, even Fred carries good meat. Roberts, we're rally meat in
Yeah.
Westico, but Marcos is on another level with us also, and he
Awesome.
goes above and beyond. And like I said, if you don't mind, I would, like I said, sponsor wise, we have a good amount. We like Oak Ridge Barbecue. We have Daigle's sauces, barbecue sauces. We have G3 Scrap Metal, Ben Gonzalez. We have 2GM Produce, BJ Carcaño. We have also Zambrano Law Firm. We have Mr. and Mrs. Casas, Progressive Insurance. We have, I mean, like I said, Pro Pit. So we have
Yeah.
a good support system
Right.
where one day I want to be able to get back, like I said, because they're hardworking. I know what they do is work, and for them to be generous enough
Absolutely.
to actually be like, you know what, we believe in you.
Yeah. Well, that tells me several things, right? So the fact that someone's willing to kind of back you, first of all, is that they like you as a person, right? So
Yeah.
on top of everything, you could have a really great cook, but if the guy's a jerk and like that, no one's gonna
Yes.
back on you, right? And if they're continued sponsors, I mean, it says a lot about your sponsors. They continue to back you, but it
Oh,
also
yeah.
says a lot about you, the type of person you are, that people are willing to continue to keep doing work with you, right? And then on top of that, like it shows that you're putting out a good product, right? So they like what you're doing, they enjoy what you're doing, and then like they're like somewhere it's like they almost have that little itch, man. Like, man, he's living the dream, and I wish I could.
Yeah.
I wish I
And-
could. I wish I had his skills.
And like I said, I want to be in that kind of position to actually help people like how they help us. And I think it's a good added pressure because we want to win for them.
Yeah.
We don't want to be like, sorry guys, we let you down. And they're never like like,
No.
hey, you let us down. No,
Yeah.
they've never said
I've
anything.
been like that. Though.
Yeah.
He's
Fabian. I
Oh,
can
he's-
see it.
no, no,
Fabian was a
yeah.
coach, right?
yeah,
He was a football coach. You missed that block. You
he would
run some
be
laps.
he would
whatever.
be he would call me after cook. I'm like, oh shit, don't answer. Don't answer because he'd ask how it went. And then sometimes we do it on purpose too. We end up winning, and he'll be
Yeah.
calling to see what's going on, and don't tell him, don't answer. Wait till we post, later
Yeah,
on, because we like to give shout outs also to everybody that helps out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like I said, we wouldn't be at the position we're at without these people. And like I said, I think we picked the people that actually helped us out too, and they chose us because they're the people of their word, honorable people, and good. They're good people.
Yep.
And like I said, it's awesome, and like I said, that added pressure to wanting to excel for them.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that pressure on us. Going to cook off, we got to do this for them too. It's not just us. We're representing these people too.
Yeah,
And-
although the reality is they don't really care what they do. Like they just want you to keep on doing
Yeah.
what you're doing and keep on enjoying. So I've got Victor here. Victor wants to call in, so
Okay.
let's see what Victor has. Hey, Victor, you there? Oh, hold on. Give me a second, Victor. Hey, Victor, are you there? Victor?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Victor. Now
Oh.
Victor just dialed in, so Victor must have some questions around barbecuing. So,
Oh, dear.
so first of all, Victor, from what I understand, so the other day he went fishing and his wife posted something. If like Victor catches some fish, I'm gonna cook fish or something, whatever. And I posted something and I said, well, like if Victor loses the bet, Victor should cook dinner. And then like his wife said, no, like, that'd be horrible for our family.
Making dinner for me means just making a mess.
Yeah. So
It's like, what's all these pots and pans for? I don't know. I caught some trout.
So just so you know, so like Victor's wife does not consider it a gift if Victor cooks dinner, right? So that's where Victor's starting from. So just so we know, right? So like some people are like, yeah, I cook and my wife will like eat it. My daughter will eat it. You know, she'll force it down her mouth, whatever. But Victor's the opposite, right? So like it sounds like if Victor cooks, like nobody's gonna touch it other than Victor, and Victor's gonna touch it.
Not even I eat when I cook, man.
Yeah, it's like the dog eats, and even at that, barely, man. Like he'll lick it. Like Victor starves in 3 days before if you know he's gonna feed him and if he's gonna cook. So, but anyways,
Well, I was
Victor,
calling to see if y'all had. I was calling to see if y'all had any samples because I'm hungry. Let's stop by right now. Pick up some ribs or fajitas, something.
I promise you, we'll try our best also for that grand opening, brother.
All right.
With the grand opening, we could try to do some
You're not gonna
competitive.
try your best.
Well,
You're gonna
okay.
be there.
We should be there, God willing. We'll have some good meat out there for y'all.
So the next question is going to be, and this is going to put some pressure on Fabian and I to say, when is this grand opening, right? So we'll have to come back at you, come with that. So I know that was going to be Victor's next question. I'll interrupt him because I know that's where we're going, but it'll be sometime in January where we have a kind of actually that'll be cold. It'll be nice, cold outside, and we'll do something outside.
Yeah.
Although it's Texas, so it may be just like
we could probably do some.
day.
We've been blessed too with carne guisada. Where like our other friend Max, he does a hell of a pan de campo too.
You've never tasted that.
So I'm hearing
brother.
pan de campo, carne
guisada, some chili. There's a lot of good
If
stuff.
anyone else has any other requests for our opening,
everything,
just
brother.
Man, I'm eating a hot dog here, guys. Come on, man. Damn.
So
No, you know what? When I heard you earlier, you said that you can't. I believe it was what you said. You don't use gas, right? You're not allowed to use gas in competitions. That's correct.
Yes, sir. Well, like
Yeah. So I used to.
I'm sorry, man, to cut you off.
I used to be a charcoal guy or a leña guy.
The fire.
But man, I got I got tired of bringing out the blow dryer or ahí con un pinche newspaper or cardboard. So I'm not gonna lie, bro. I went to gas and I love it, man. I enjoy it.
just
it's
wait.
easy,
You
it's fast.
just get a Traeger next, man. That's
that's all you need, man. I mean, no, like I said, whatever works for the person is best. I mean, like I said, you can make good product in any kind of any fire source. I mean, whatever is more convenient for you, and it's not. We're not nothing against you because you're a gas griller, but it's whatever.
I think a lot of it depends on so you want a barbecue, and a barbecue means different things to different people. Different people get different things out of it, right? So like someone like you, you're gonna like your passion is around that, so you're gonna get you're really gonna enjoy the prepping, the getting the fire ready, getting all that stuff ready. For someone like me, like my barbecue is more like relaxed, right? Like I'm gonna come out, pop some beers, and we're gonna hang out with my friends and family. So like the food is like secondary. It's more of like everything
the
that
gathering,
goes the gathering of it, right? And not to say you don't do that right when you have your home personal ones, but when you're competitive grilling, it's more like that. But for me, it's like, all right, like I don't want like the barbecue to become a chore, right? I don't want I want to enjoy
to have a good time, and if we got into the point where we know what to do, and we have a bunch of good friends there. I mean, we have a big crowd there, and they know already. Hey, from this time and this time, don't ask me for anything of meat. Don't touch anything. No drink, no water.
Just make sure my beer's full.
I just want to eat, bro.
We're like, okay.
That's probably why I went with the gas. I just want to eat. Get the damn thing in there and eat.
But we have made on a jackpot before an open category at Redfish on the half shell.
Oh wow.
We smoked it. Oh man, it came out killer. I think we ended up like a third or second. I think a dessert one, but
we got a lot of viewers here that are redfish that they're looking to cook. So redfish. So let's talk about how to cook. We just lost Victor here, but let's talk about how we cook redfish on a half shell here.
You can, what we do, I'm not a good filleter. I would say, we can cook it, but we get those half, like I said, those fillet for us. We put on the half shell. We season it, olive oil.
So
on top.
what do you season with? So
We have some seasonal. There's some, and some of our incognito seasoning. Whatever kind of lemon pepper, orange pepper. Also, we also even add tomatoes on it, cooked on. Oh, mango de gallo.
Mango de gallo.
Mango de gallo.
Before.
Yeah,
I never made it, but I bought it at HEB before.
Mango de gallo, cooked it on it also.
But let's tell our viewers what mango de
I was
gallo is.
Well, it's like pico, but they put mango in there
Yeah,
also.
so
Yeah, that's what.
But does it have tomato in it?
I want to say it has some. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's a
want to
little
say
bit
it
of
does tomato.
tomato, so-
And like I said, we would actually make our own. Like cut more tomato, more onions.
Okay, you'll-
on top of what we bought.
Yeah.
Because it's pre-made. So
Okay.
we'll do that too, and lemon also, and cheese at
You
the
put
final
cheese
final
on
step.
as
The
well,
final
dude?
the final
What
step.
what kind of cheese do you put on the
Like
redfish?
I think that the
Mozzarella.
3-1, the 3 or the mozzarella, or the 3-1 from HEB.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the 3. I don't know what's in there.
But it's like a shredded.
The
cheese.
shredded, yeah.
You have reached
and,
the
and,
voice.
and put it on there and let it just the finishing touch melt, on top, and then oh my lord, it comes out killer, man.
All
It
right.
does come out real killer. But with fish,
But do you put foil under, or do you put it?
I
Straight
know
on
it's
the
straight
grill?
on the grill. Yeah,
Okay.
we straight on the grill, and we babysit it. Like I said, with everything, you can't really set and forget.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to be precise about everything. Like you don't want to get it to go too long, too short. You have to within time. When it's done.
Okay.
Yeah, and it flakes off, and you kind of know what you're looking at the timetable. Temperature wise, I don't even go by temp.
Do by color.
I
or
just
like-
do by the color of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when it comes off real easy, because fish, I don't really temp it. We don't really have a cook off for that,
Yeah, you just look
So
at
you
it,
kind of already
yeah.
know. It's not like fry.
It's
You look
cooked
at
or
it.
it's not.
Yeah.
It's raw. Yeah.
And so we do it that way, and we've had some good turn, doing it that way. And then we done also before tilapia, stuff like that in foil trays, prepared the same way, but in a mass kind of in a mass cooking inside the pit like
Okay.
that, and then just fold it up, make sure it's cooked and done a big serving like that, and it's come out legit.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So another question I have is, so with you and your partner, do you guys like divvy up, like, hey, I'm gonna work on the chicken and the pork, and you're gonna work on this or that?
When we're talking about getting to competitive cooking, you should be ready to. It's like a whole week prepping stuff, getting the trailer ready, finding your meats.
So it's not just a day. Of
People go,
competitive,
oh, I'm
right?
gonna go. It's fun. I go, no, it's not, because you know what? It's a never-ending
It starts on
process.
Monday.
Yeah,
And it ends on Sunday.
because you might go to this. Oh, we don't have it yet. Go to this store. Go to this store. We're trying to everywhere. Okay, Wednesday. Walk around our work too.
yeah.
And we go at night trying to find stuff and trying to get the best quality product we can at the time. And like I said, getting the trailer ready, generators, making sure we have our spices and everything. So it's a whole unloading and loading, and then after cook off cleaning. And then the Sunday comes, unload. And if people think don't get me wrong, it's fun. We love what we do,
It's a lot of work.
but it's work. If
Yeah.
you want to get in the competitive, it's work. And if you have a helper and you have people around you that will help out, like these guys, it's just they'll help out, clean up too. They'll help load. It helps. And I'm appreciative to all the people that go out there, because it is
It's work.
it's work.
I think
And
you do have to have a good, support system, and then people who
Yeah.
are, I know this guy's called me like at 6 a.m. Hey, bro.
hey, I need you. Yes.
I forgot
Oh,
this.
Yeah.
I
And
was-
he they can say no, and hey, I'll bring you breakfast. Okay, awesome.
I
Whatever.
got tacos. I need.
And-
I need.
Yeah,
Mango de.
and I'm
Pico de
so
mango.
appreciative of friends like that, and not even friends, family.
Yeah.
They're family. That's what
Absolutely.
they are, because not too many people will bend over backwards for you just out of the love, because it's not like we make millions of dollars and pay them like, hey, thank you for paying like workers. No, they're doing it out of their own damn time, and I'm pretty sure they have other things to do, and they're willing to come help us out and see us succeed. And like I said, without them, I think we wouldn't be as blessed as we were, because they do. And like I said, they help out a lot.
Try go at 11. Guess when the ribs come out.
Yeah,
Yeah, call me when
call
you,
me. Yeah, I'll go.
Call me if you need some beer.
And like I said, he's helped out. Our other friend Hector's helped out. Phil. There's a lot of guys that go out there over the time. Like if we need the help because of the bigger cook-offs, I mean, cause just maybe we have to walk,
And these guys
further.
sleep there, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
sleep. We just got an enclosed trailer. We put an AC on the top. We put our pits in there. We roll them out, and we have.
This is serious.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
it's
we have-
not like it's
we-
not a joke. Like
One
it's
thing
not,
we want to do is have a fund for a generator.
Oh yeah,
right?
cause I have the loudest generator. They're like, oh yeah, they wanted to go fund me all the cooks for Chillin N Grillin. Yeah, so
yeah, no,
it's-
like actually, I think you guys should invest in earplugs and then like
Everybody else,
and-
right?
and then,
Yeah.
like don't let everybody else sleep.
Yeah.
Like, you get the best earplugs.
no,
And
yeah,
put your
it's-
generator as far as you
That's
can
it.
away from you. and
You don't
pick
talk
it up.
about
even I've been like after the cook off when I turn it off, I'm like, oh wow, dude, like we can actually talk. Because I'm so used to it. I'm so used to like, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah,
It was
yelling at
$300. It was
everybody.
$300.
Hey, go get me that. I'm
And-
right here, dude.
And we turn it off at the end, and we're like, oh wow, like it would be badass if we had like a little Honda that would,
Yeah, they're like-
those. Oh, you can't even hear them.
Yeah,
Inverters, and we're like,
go turn it
oh.
on. No, it's on, dude.
It is on. And we go to the our friends that have those, and we're like, damn, this is pretty cool to have a generator. So
Have a conversation.
they've been joking around. Some friends of ours too had tried to do like a little GoFundMe, but joking around for Chillin N Grillin's generator. So we're like, hey,
Yeah.
jerks. But I mean, hey, I go, it works, man. I mean, it costs us like $200-300. It's working. Why
Yeah.
why
Yeah, it's right.
invest
Yeah,
something
it's,
else if that is doing the job? I mean, and there's no noise ordinance or whatever. Like they're not gonna say like, hey, you can't use that
speaks
here.
too loud,
It's
Yeah.
too loud.
And that's what I'm saying. We try to get as far as, like I said, it's not my fault, our fault. The promoters or the guys we're trying to get furthest away from people. They're like, oh no, it's taking them. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to do you all a favor because it is loud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you have to be in the middle. I'm like, oh,
Everybody's
shoot.
gonna be-
Yeah,
everybody's in
okay.
here,
So
so.
I do try to accommodate that because I know some people, get feelings on that, and I try my best to cater to that. But
you
but
can
it
only
is
do
what
so
it
much,
is.
right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. So I try doing that too. But it is loud. Man.
Let's go to the next meat.
What-
Chicken.
When is okay? Yeah.
Oh well. Back to where prep. Like I said, prepping. We'll try to prep the day before, as in like I said, cutting and trimming, like the chickens. So what we'll do is we'll take all some of them that we get has that little bag of neck and giz, the giz, I don't know what you call them, the heart and all that. We
Yeah.
take it out. So what we do is try to pre-cut everything. So what I do, some people just cut out the back spine and what they call spatchcock the chicken, like they just half, but it's still conjoined together
Yeah.
and cook it like that. Well, we don't do it. So we end up taking the back spine, cutting right down in the middle, and have two halves ready. So we'll get that out of the way, so we don't have to worry about coming Saturday morning doing that stuff. Ribs, to me, that can be something done in the morning on Saturday because you're just taking out that member in the back, seasoning it up,
seasoning it.
letting it sit before and get ready for the fire. Brisket wise, another tip I would say is you're there to compete, and if you could do your best not to cook a 20-pound brisket.
Okay.
I don't want to cook at 12 midnight. I want it my sleep. I want to be able to wake up at 7:30, put the brisket at 8, and it's done by 12. So like I said, we'll start off with a 20-pound, 18-pound brisket and trim it up to like 7 pounds, man.
Just fat or just like
No, all meat, fat.
meat,
So
okay.
we're cutting literally the 9 slices and probably have that much meat left.
okay.
So all that extra meat, you can do ground burgers, you can ground it up, you can do whatever you want to do.
You're cooking it at the same time? Or
Well, no, we put that and freeze it.
Okay.
So what I'm taking is like a little cake, like a little.
Just what
It was a huge brisket. So, but what I end up trimming, we trimmed that the day before is whatever we're going to turn in.
Okay.
So that will help with timing, all that, because you don't have to worry about a big brisket cooking it 16 hours.
Yeah.
I'm cooking mine 4 hours, and it's the same tenderness,
But
the
it's
same
9
quality.
pieces, right?
Exactly. No, they're sliced and they're beautiful. Like I said, and we have maybe an end of it that left over. So we have to be precise in what we're doing also while we're cutting it. So I would think that would be a tip also is if you have so much going on, don't take more than you need
Yeah.
for the turn-in. Because like I said, you need 2 halves of two chicken halves. You need 9 ribs and 9 slices of brisket.
Focus what you're going to be graded on. Focus
Yeah,
what you're
exactly.
judged
Because
on.
you're there for the company. You're not, and like I said, whatever's left over, Fabian and the other guy, I mean, they can eat it. Hey, we'll do.
Definitely eat
Like
it,
I said, we
yeah.
used to do like 8 halves, and we're like, oh my god, like we
That's a lot
had
of
to
brisket, yeah.
babysit everything.
Yeah.
And now we went to like 4 only. So the best, whatever we put in the other 2, hey, y'all kill them.
Yeah.
And the ribs also, like I said, we did like 6 slabs, and then that was the 2 or whatever 9 slices. Get the 9 best pieces, and you all eat whatever's left over. Same thing with brisket. I mean, it just the timing, man. It just you gotta be aware of your time turn-ins and the amount of food you're cooking. Like I said, you're not there to feed
1,000 or your whole family.
You're there.
1,000 people.
Yeah, you're there.
there.
I'm not saying you can't do that at all, but if you want to cook that big briskets for the family, yes, you can.
So the guys who are barbecuing at their homes and want to make a brisket, and so what are your thoughts on, just some tips you could give them in terms of how you?
I would say a big brisket. I would end up taking off silver skin on the top of the brisket. I would say
what's the silver skin?
That film that's on top of the meat.
Okay.
And you can kind of tell once you scrape that little silver skin off, you'll see the redness, the red of the meat, the freshness of it.
Take it all the way off.
I'll kind of get a good fillet knife, kind of semi-frozen because it's easier to slice it off.
Solid,
if it's soft or whatever, you're going to be having trouble with. Yeah. And I would maybe with like not even an inch, a quarter of an inch. I'll turn it around and that's how much fat I'll leave on it. I won't leave too much fat because some of those fats on those briskets are huge. So I would do that as well. And also to where when I'm cutting the brisket on the back, when I'm flipping it over, it's a level.
So that when it sits.
Yeah, it's sitting level. Flat. So the smoke and stuff can be evenly distributed on the brisket. Not like it's over here and it's going down. Like your brisket's all, I would uniform it to where it's an even cook for me.
Okay.
And I would say, like I said, if you have the time, I'm not saying to trim that up and make a 7-pound at home, but if you want to do that, you can. But
so if you're planning to feed 20 people, what size of brisket do you do?
Yeah, I would say like a 20-pounder would do. Yeah, 18, 20. Yeah, because it's again, you're doing sides. Okay. You're doing your mashed potatoes on the side. I'm not saying if you're not doing sides at all, then you probably need like 2 of them because
so you try to say like
a pound per person.
Okay.
Yeah, you would think that
a person.
Yeah, you need 3 briskets for But like I said, because you're eating sides as well, and usually some people don't. They like the potato salad, the rice, and they'll eat a couple of slices of brisket only, or I think it can stretch it even longer if you do a chopped. If you want to do chopped brisket for sandwiches, I mean that
chopped you can be a little bit more.
Oh yeah, you can have some little more fat in it because some people, I mean, they just like it, in the flavor wise. But if they see it and it's not like there's the hard fat and there's that fat that will melt in your mouth, like the moist. You could tell when that fat just renders, like with a ribeye. That I don't know if you like the fat with that little steak, and it melts in. I mean, the just flavor. Yeah. So you can actually make it go more extended with having those fat in there also.
Okay.
And you can feed more people. So I would prefer doing a top kind of a thing, like if you're having a party. Okay. And you pickles, your sandwiches, your chips.
Brisket, you cook it the same way?
I would cook it the same way. Okay. Yeah, because I'm all about consistency of doing that, and I like to smoke it like that. I would smoke it and do what I need to do, and then I would chop it up, let it rest.
So 20-pound brisket. So after you cut the fat off of it, you put it up to grill. I mean, you wrap it in foil. How do you?
I would smoke it at least. I smoke to color. So I used to be one of those guys, and I would say if you don't have a thermometer or a thermopin or a thermopop or anything that does your temp, I would invest in one because it does help out. Like I said with chicken, let's say chicken, 165 internal temp, it's good to go.
And you put how do you actually?
You actually put it. You can put it in the breast or put it to the bone where once you hit that bone in that thigh, and if it says 165, the whole chicken's done. You just put it that way. Or turkey, because some people like to overcook it. And that's when it's not as juicy.
Yeah, it dries out.
So you're like, oh no, it needs longer. And they should have taken it out 45 minutes earlier. So if they want to have a better product, I would say invest in something like that so you can actually do the temps. Because once it says 165, once you take it out and you rest it, the temp's going to go up more. Yeah. So it's good to go. So I would say do that as well as a
chicken, turkey is
165. Yeah, 165 around there, and your money. Okay. Once you hit that and it says that, take it off. Okay. And you're not gonna it's not gonna have no blood. You're not gonna be maybe a minute chance, like those little blood veins, and I mean you probably have maybe one of those once in the blue moon, but it's good to go. Like you're not gonna have no problem.
It's safe, yeah.
And the brisket, we used to be real adamant on the internal temp 185 before we do anything, and it got to the point where there's like a little stall that they call, and when you're cooking meat, it can be there in that same temp for 2 hours, and you're freaking out, and it's still at 185. So we got to the point where, let's do color.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap, and you can use butcher butcher paper, that peach one, or foil, whatever you prefer. And once we like the color, we'll wrap it
on the outside.
On the outside.
Okay.
So if you like that color on the outside, I would say go for it. You don't even have to temp it. And like I said, once it's folded or in that butcher paper, it's all feel. It's all feel. When you have no resistance, when you have no resistance in it, it's done.
But what's that color that you're looking for? Like
I like that.
the color.
Well, I don't like people like that dark bark
brisket,
on the
yeah.
brisket.
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of. I don't get me wrong. I love it. Mine is like because I guess the wood we use and stuff like that. It's like a reddish brownish look, like a mahogany kind of color. But and I'll pull it in that color. I already know what I am. I know, and I know it has enough smoke ring in it when I cut it to turn it in. It has enough little beautiful little pink smoke
Around
ring
it,
around
yeah.
it already. Because after 4 hours of smoking, I feel, in my opinion, I might say it varies. Every meat's different. You know, like I said, every brisket is different.
Okay.
You're never gonna have the same brisket. Like even though you buy the same
20
product,
pound brisket's
even though
not
you
all
buy
20
you
pound
buy the
briskets are the
same brand, the same whatever it is, every meat is different. That muscle, I mean, the cow, I mean, anything. You're always gonna have a different cook every time.
Yeah.
But you try to do it the same way. So that's why I said, you know what? Like this brisket could be the same pound. I can do it, and it cooked in 4 hours, and this one took 6 hours. What the hell, you know? So every meat is different.
Okay.
So that's why I said, you know what? Color. Let's do color.
Yeah.
And we've had, you know, ever since then, I was like, we don't need to temp it no more, and we would just wrap it, and when it was done, it's done.
And how do you season a brisket? Do you season it the same
I
way?
I don't. So a lot of people use mustard before so it can stick to the season it, but I actually, and some people don't even do the bottom because they feel that when they're cooking on the bottom, like it's just burning.
Burns
Yeah.
out,
But I mean, I still season the bottom and the top. You can use, like I said, you don't even taste the mustard. Some people use that. We use olive oil,
Okay.
and we'll season the bottom real
So you
good.
put some olive oil on it
Before you
and then you
get
put
some
it-
gloves, and then kind of
Rub
rub
it
it
on.
in there,
Okay.
rub the back, and then season out. We season the back.
Incognito.
Incognito, and yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's, like I said, there's so many out there.
Yeah.
But we use, I want to say that's one of them, right? I would say 5 different rubs
Okay.
on our brisket.
Yep.
And I mean, and some of them, what it's called SPG, salt, pepper, garlic.
Yeah.
That's your kind of your base or
Your
your
basics.
common stuff on something like that.
Yeah.
And on top of that, like I said, it's that seasoning, but I'll do the bottom and we do the top. And then some people say when they're cooking, well, flip it over on the meat side, because when it's rendering, when it's cooking, the fat's going through and moistening up
Coming down,
the
yeah.
down on the meat and moistening it. But I've always done it meat side down, and it's
The way you're moving your head doesn't seem
It
to
doesn't
Well,
sound like
even
you're
that.
convinced, yeah.
because like I said, there's always different ways to, like I
Yeah.
said, skin a cat or whatever that's
Yeah,
saying.
different way.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's wrong in barbecue. Like if
Oh,
it works for you,
burnt is burnt.
yeah, and if it works for you,
yeah.
hey, more
Some
power to
like
you.
it, yeah.
You can hang it, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do. But like us personally, we always do fat side down,
Okay.
and I mean, it's just your preference. And we do season both sides, and generously because it's smoking, so it's a big piece of meat. So if you do like a little thin layer, you're probably not going to get that much flavor in that brisket. I mean, it's a big hunk of meat, so you got to
Yeah,
be
put some-
generous.
Yeah.
You got to be generous, and people are like,
That's a
I go,
lot.
yes, trust me, man,
I've
because
done this.
I've seen
I'll-
that.
Look at my wall. I've got
yeah,
trophies.
they're good. Yeah, I'm like, trust me. Once you try it, it's okay. 'Cause you're smoking it for a long time.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's a big meat. It's not like a little piece of that we're overdoing it. No. So sure enough, they kind of go with the flow. And like, okay, yeah, you're right. You don't really take. I told you, you can't even taste that much of it. And
Oh, it's so
you're-
thick too, right?
yeah,
Like
and you're
that-
freaking out on me that I'm putting too much. I go, and then season the season the sides. We also pick it up, season the sides, the back, the point, and the flat. The point's where you get your moist at, because that's fat. It's a fatter part of the
Okay.
meat of the brisket, and your flat is the leaner part.
So for
So-
competition, you're choosing. somewhere
You're
between-
choosing right there. There's a fine median, between them, because sometimes when you're cutting the lean part, it's like, damn, like you can
It's
fold
full.
it and it's still tender.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, that's when you kind of like, okay, what do the judges want?
Yeah. Okay.
some
so
people
you
want-
choose which part
Yeah,
of the
like
brisket
they're
you're-
trying to like, okay, today this part is good to go. I'm going to turn in this one. This looks beautiful, and it has the right texture, the pull, the bite. And some people try to get the fat part, the point end of it, and that's, like I said, the more moist, and you're going to have that intramuscular fat in there
Yeah.
that it does render if you cook it right, if you cook it the right way.
It's soft, yeah.
It just depends. Yeah.
So the last question I really have is, and so we talked about one seasoning for all these, and so we talked incognito or whatever, but there are individual seasonings that apply for all of these meats that you can buy.
Mhm.
Try to make that simple on us rather than having, all these different seasons you
Yeah.
can do. And yeah, so it's just pretty. That would be
It's pretty
it.
basic. Like your salt, pepper, garlic is pretty basic on everything. You
Okay.
can use that on everything. You like if you like that, and I like that orange pepper on fajita stuff like that. Your chicken is real good. And there's McCormick. There's like all these then Don Julio's. There's there's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
these.
you go down the aisle. There's
Yeah,
tons
there's
of
tons of different brands that sell the same kind of seasoning.
just salt,
Yeah,
pepper, and
that-
garlic is the base.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's your base on that, and it works good on everything. And like I said, if you like lemon pepper on your chicken, you can add that on it. If you like some heat, you can actually put a little bit of a like that chipotle, not chipotle, but what is it? That red pepper,
like a chili pepper,
like a chili pepper or paprika. If you like the
Oh,
color,
Okay.
if you even like the color, like the reddish, it'll turn out the reddish kind of a color on it too. That gives you that color on the chicken. You can put whatever. The sky's like I said, the sky's the limit. But that's the three I would say that can work on all those good
So salt, pepper, garlic,
on
and
all
then,
those good
like,
meats.
some-
Yeah,
any kind of that.
and if
Okay.
you like, they said the flavor of the orange pepper, if you like the flavor of the lemon pepper, stuff like that, you can add that in. Seasonal does it. Seasonal as well. Like I said, we usually combine ours, so like it's to a science where we
Yeah.
measure it out.
You just like this
You
many
gotta-
ounces. and
Yeah,
this
you
many
got to
cups
work
or
with it.
whatever,
You got to work with it and get your palate of what you like. Because some people be like, "Hey, whew, it's too salty.
Yeah.
And then and it's the case too because we times like, man, like you turn in this brisket, and he goes, I know, I messed it up. It's too salty. Boom, second place. We're like, what? It
The
was
judges
saltiest.
like salty.
Exactly.
That,
So
that would be the toughest part for me, like being like
Mhm.
in the competitive world, is just like you don't know exactly what you're shooting for until it's you're done.
Yeah,
right?
you
So-
can't work out harder. You can't do anything like that
Yeah,
to
it's
become
like-
better. It's just
it's
like,
just like-
it's
sometimes
crapshoot.
sometimes you're lucky, right? It's
Yeah.
just like
that's why I
it's
say
just
that
like a-
consistencies and your flavor profile has to be consistent like that. And I think we've kind of mastered that where we've been blessed anywhere we have gone to hit. I think we've had that consistent flavor profile that will be okay wherever we go.
yeah. So
Like,
if
that's
you-
why I deny like several times to be a judge because I know exactly his
Yeah.
meat. Like I know exactly the chicken, the brisket. I
And-
know how it tastes.
And Fabian put up a good point. If you want to learn how competitive cooking,
Judge.
to be in it, I would go judge.
Yeah.
Go judge first. Go judge a good cook-off. I wouldn't say your little cook-off. I would say where where the big competitive
but like
cooks
even
are
at
at.
that, like how do you be like you judge? You just
Well,
kinda
because
volunteer for a
when
judge, or-
IBCA, you don't have to be certified. KCBS, I'm saying certified as in the public. KCBS, you have to go to class and you have a certificate. Hey, you're a judge for KCBS. Fabian's a
But even
judge.
at that, there's still like, hey, I like mine burnt.
Yeah,
versus,
you
like,
still have your
whatever.
preference, right? But in IBCA, the judge will sit, let's okay, we need 10 people at this table. They get their 10 people and they'll explain what you're looking for. So
Okay.
you have like a crash course.
Yeah.
So you're not really a certified judge, but there's a certified head judge there that tells you what to do. So I
Yeah.
would say do that if you want to go to competitive and kind of, do the chicken, judge the fajitas, judge the brisket, judge the ribs. So you know what you're up against. Because there's some people that like to go party and then you try their food and like I said, they use leña and it's like over mesquite flavor and you're like, oh wow,
Yeah.
no.
So is there like if someone were to go buy wood or charcoal, like is there anything like you recommend off the shelf that
I would say Western Wood
Western
is
wood?
real good with us.
Is that a brand? Or
It's
is
a brand.
that Western
I
wood?
would we used hickory and pecan and oak.
Okay, and that's
those- and-
completely like you use that as the entire.
Yeah.
That's just
And we'll mix it a little here and there, but I'm saying they're a good flavor and they're mild. It's not overpowering.
okay.
A kind of a wood like how
And
you
that's
would.
good for everything.
Oh
right?
yeah, we use it for everything and it works
So
out.
Western wood, and then you got salt, pepper, garlic.
Yeah. And then if you have access to pecan or oak or any of those kind of in cocoa cut down a tree, whatever, and you have it, I would use that too, right? But I don't have access to that, so I buy those
Okay.
already
bags.
bagged.
Okay.
And then like I said, there's some
And
you
they're
can-
wood chips, or
they're logs,
they're
actual logs.
Okay.
And we'll cut it down and use what we need. Or if we need something quick, we'll buy like there's chunks also. There's chips. You can throw flavor in there. There's different kinds of woods you can get like that.
Okay.
But we would use Western Wood, and there is like B&B. I think Academy. I think holds B&B now. They used to have Western Wood, but I think Western Wood's like a Bass Pro Shop now.
Okay.
But a B&B, they're out there also on those woods as well. Those flavors of the woods.
And real quick, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Damn, that's hard, bro. That's hard. I think I would say it had to be ribs, man. I would
Ribs?
say ribs.
Yeah.
Ribs and fajitas.
Okay.
Those are cold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
I would
actually
say.
like, so I'm excited. So like as part of our grand opening, we got to have these bacon or these fajita wrap.
Oh, those. Yeah, I mean, hey, and I
you
saying
hyped them up, man.
they were. I mean, because we didn't know what to do when we went out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
And I go, what do we have to lose, man? We never in this kind of event. I go, we're not expert. We're not culinary, you know. And these people are doing amazing dishes, and we're like, let's just do it, man. You know, the raza, we're like, hey, let's just turn in something, brother, because we're here. And,
Yeah.
and it worked. And like I said, like I think one of them was like creativity, and it was off the charts too. Like I guess they didn't expect.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Right.
Like I mean, we've seen it before, but we never tasted or implemented. Like there's been people that have done it before, you know.
Okay.
And I mean, and I think the sauce that we made that day complemented it well. So like I said, my dad went with us also, and he was like doing toothpicks. So he had like every kind of like the fajita, the shrimp, the cheese. Like he had a little like a kebab, and he was giving them out to people, and people were like digging it, man.
Good,
yeah. So I mean, it helped. It's awesome. It's awesome feeling. Like I said, I would say like fajita and ribs are probably my best.
So just
one to cook.
So from my understanding, so you start off as a backyard griller. You know, you do your thing on the grill. Your kids are liking your food. If it seems to me is if nobody's eating your barbecue, that's a good sign that you shouldn't go into competitive grilling, right? But if people are eating your food and they're enjoying it and they're liking it and they're taking stuff at home, then you might have an act for it, right? So then you kind of move into this role of competitive grilling. And you travel around the country, the state, whatever, and you win trophies and you kind of get recognized for that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, what's the next thing? Like, do you like continue doing that? Do you guys have any plans for opening up a
You
restaurant?
see, we had ventured off to doing that restaurant thing. I was almost done with school. I had took a very long vacation from school, and when I had my little one, I promised.
What kind of school?
Oh, college.
But
I mean,
college shouldn't stop you from like.
Well, my
opening
thing,
a grill,
my thing when I had my little one and the wife, I promised I wanted to finish,
Yeah.
and so I wanted to keep. I was a man of my word, kind of with a thing that I need to do. So I kind of had that on hold, and I think that kind of swayed them. Okay, well, he's not all in right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I told him. Look, if I go in this, I'm 100% in school first. And they, I mean, and they're still good friends to this day. They're still good people. I'm not saying there's nothing bad. It just that I think I kind of veered them off in the wrong direction when I said that, because they would, as investors, I mean, you want someone to be 100% in.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie and be like, you know what, I'm going to give you 100% and then go back on my word.
Yeah. No,
and that's our name on the line. So I mean, when they say Chillin N Grillin, I mean, I want the best product going out there. I'm not going to half-ass it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're dealing with that. It's always been a dream of ours, you know, but I went that route and I finished school. I mean, I have no regrets, you know, but
well, you can't because you never know what have happened.
Yeah,
right?
we never known
you can't live that way.
I think there's stats out there too that saying that barbecue restaurant is a very there's a high percentage of that is not succeeding. They kind of fail a lot of times in the restaurant kind of business. I mean, I've seen those stats before, but
you can't use that as a crutch, man. Because
Yeah.
for every one that fails, like for
Yeah.
for every 10 that fail, one makes it, right?
Yeah.
And so like what differentiates? So you still got to get. It's like people that like are professional athletes, right? Like
yeah,
everyone says, the chances of you becoming a professional athlete are so low, right? Whatever.
yeah, exactly.
And then, but few people make it, right? And
True.
so like if everybody's kind of had that same mindset, like I'm not what we all give up now,
exactly.
and then like you never grow up to be
I guess
that, right?
I guess I say that to make myself feel better. No, but
but the reality is you never know how things would have worked out.
Yeah, but
right?
I think I think he has surrounded himself with the right people. I think to still have that opportunity, hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of. I didn't mean to kind of put you in the spotlight. I
No,
didn't know that, but I was
I
more
never say
asking-
never. I mean, never say never.
So
but
I was more asking is that something that you're looking forward to? Something that you're kind of considering in terms of
it's a possibility
out there, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've done caterings, and my compa done event catering for people before. We've been offered a lot, and we'll kind of do because, and I want that route of catering. I feel bad because I know how much time and effort we put in it. I feel bad when I say, you know what, well, we're worth this much per plate or per whatever and they're like, oh, that's pretty expensive. But like, well, you got to know what the time and
but
and
at the
effort.
like the market has to agree to it, right? So like if you think you're worth so much, and like you go prove that you're worth it.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But it's the market. The market's really going to dictate what prices are and what they are, right? And it's different, right? Because I mean, we sell stuff here to the valley, and it's hard, right? Sometimes too, when people like a $200 rod. Like, why the heck am I going to pay $200 for a rod when I can go to Academy, right? And so you have to work through that. And,
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, to get people, some people, it'll kind of push them away, but.
And I think that we've have made a good name for ourselves. That I
Absolutely.
think if we would go into that venture, I think we would have a good following.
I think if you hit up 7 Day Addiction Media, will help you.
So I think we have some people that we know someone that
We
can
know
help
somebody,
you. We know some people that can
but
help you.
I mean that's
kinda
like I
get
said,
into
we
that
never
world,
say
so,
never. I mean
yeah.
that's a big passion of mine and Eddie's, and like I said, we're surrounded by just love from everybody, and like I said, it's a blessing, and it's never too late. I'm not saying that sale has shipped, but it
Oh,
could
absolutely,
happen.
yeah.
It could happen one of these days,
I think
maybe.
that's why I kind of mentioned that, for that reason. I think, I knew you, I know you, and I believe in everything that you've done, but I think you've now become a part of our family. I think, Sam and I have become a lot closer just in the past few months, and I think
Yeah.
just you being here is going to open up doors. I really do believe that, of having that opportunity, because, I think just having that surround or that support system grow even more. It's going
For
to give.
sure.
I think it'd be a hell of a thing. I mean, like I said, I've been in his world for the past
Well,
2-3 years.
and so one of the things that we'd like to do, if Phoebe and I would like to do, is so you describe the whole process, right? Like waking up at 3 a.m. or whatever, or not even that, like like just starting to prep for a competition on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's a lot of goes into that, and one of the things that I think would be really cool is if we could document that.
Oh
right?
hell yeah!
So
Why? Yeah, that's a good idea. I've always thought it would be a cool back behind the scenes
yes.
kind of a thing.
So that's something like where our media company can help do that, right? So we come out there, we start off, we show, we put the end thing is like a whole video that shows the whole process of you walking around picking meat, seasoning stuff without giving too much secrets, right? Whatever.
right.
We'll blur things out.
We'll blur
That
things
would be
out.
that would be a cool experience just to
I
know.
think Baby and I are going to come up with our own seasoning now.
just to know what goes behind
Absolutely. I mean, just the way everything is.
that turning, that just to go behind to get to that turning time
Yeah.
and the relief.
So there's so judges go and maybe some of the judges have competed before, right? Or
Mhm.
whatever, but they
For
go
sure.
and they eat something and they take a bite out of it and okay, this is, whatever, I'm going to rank it this, but there's so much that leads up to that point, right? Like you said, like Monday talking to Marco, talking, hey
Yeah.
Marco, I need this. Can you find this? And him going around looking for
Yeah.
whatever you can. You go into 5 different stores out there, and then you prepping the trailer, you prepping your loud ass generator,
Yeah.
and setting up and I mean, there's a lot. There's a whole story to it, right? And that story
Yeah.
doesn't get told, right? And then and someone like me or Fabian's walking around and they ask us, hey, you guys want to be a judge? Okay, yeah, just because we came out here to hang out, drink beer or whatever, and we're gonna have a barbecue because it's a good time, and now we're gonna judge it. But man, there's just so much more to it
Oh
that
yeah.
goes out there. And TJ just signed up, so I think TJ
What's up,
TJ's
man?
always up to be a judge. I think so. So TJ would definitely always be interested in judging or trying out some of the barbecue we have.
Heck
So
yeah, it's cool, man. It's a long process, and
it's a lot of work.
it would be fun actually trying to document that, because I think it would be interesting trying to get into that.
I think I'm going to be giving that job.
Yes, I think it's so we got it.
We're gonna
So I've actually got some. So my cousin actually, they have a YouTube channel as well too. They're called Palo Bros, and they're out there vlogging and they're out there fishing all these ponds here in the valley. But they're actually helping us do some of the production on the backside of this. So they're videotaping stuff. So I mean, these are guys, they're high school kids, and they like doing this, and they definitely have a good job. And so it'll expose them to the different world as well too. So I definitely reach out to Rogelio and his group out there to see what they can do to help us, but and try to kind of document that story for you, because I
That'd
just
be
think
awesome.
I think it'd be
It'd be
awesome for
cool.
people to see it all, right? And
to win it.
that'd be
right?
or even
that'd be
not,
cool.
right?
Yeah,
Even if
yeah,
you lose it,
I
right?
know.
Like it's the whole thing, right? There's a lot of work that goes into it, right? It's like the
Yeah, it
Drago, or
is.
like the Rocky and Drago, right? Like you see them both like
It is.
preparing like the whole to fight,
And you're looking
then,
at 130 plus degrees on the asphalt with the pit, sweating,
it's work, man. It's not easy.
and we're cutting, and like I said, we're superstitious in that, and the compa turns off the AC. It's like 100 some in the trailer trying to cut the meat, also prepare stuff. So it gets intense.
Yeah.
It gets
It's
intense.
definitely. I mean, again, I think it's what we've been together in 3 years.
Right.
It's about 3 years, and then it is a different world. I
Absolutely.
thought it was just grilling. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
go,
just
like
put
you
it on.
said.
Let's get the music
no
on,
big
kick
deal.
our feet up, drink some beers, and whatever.
I've learned to
No.
stay away from them. For
It comes
Right.
down to a science and
absolutely.
weather.
Yeah.
cold, rain.
There's just so many
heat,
variables, like-
elements
Yeah.
that can go wrong. I mean, there's so much
Yeah.
into it that people are like they freak out. Well, yeah, you know what? If you want to be successful, you got to get that in depth in that.
Yeah, the wind is blowing from the north today.
Yes. All right, there you go. Let me move the trailer this way to
Yeah.
block some wind. Let me move the
Yeah.
pit this way. Let me
Yeah,
block-
and I was saying that jokingly, but like it's funny, like you say, like,
Yeah.
oh, there is some truth to it, right?
And then some people are like, leave it
Yeah,
there. But you
whatever,
know
right?
what? Then you're gonna have some trouble coming in the
Yeah.
morning. They're checking the wind coming southeast. You better, they
Yeah,
check.
that's
It goes
crazy.
that in depth. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then, like I said, it comes down to, like I said, even the judges, even the people that are judging that, and people don't really look at that.
Yeah.
But if you want to get that hardcore into it, I think, I mean, as in getting ahead of the game,
Yeah.
preparing yourself when someone else think outside the box. You're coming in there just, well, okay, I'm cooking. I mean, you might have not thought, hey, well, what kind of who's judging right now?
Yeah.
Is it girls, men? Winter Texans, stuff
Yeah.
like that. It can come down to that. And like I said, and even the spices. Okay, what did I turn in that day? Did I turn in a little bit of heat? Did I turn in whatever? Okay, I'm gonna go in that next month. I'm gonna be there in that area again.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to change
You
it up.
gotta know where you're going.
Yeah.
Too. It's just,
Okay.
there's so much overlap with fishing. It seems like it.
And,
Like
I was thinking
like
the
you gotta
same
go.
thing.
Like, hey, I'm gonna go fish Baffin. I'm gonna go fish.
Yeah.
The South Padre. I gotta do this. I gotta work these colors. These work.
And when these colors worked in this,
Yeah.
what was the temperature?
Yeah, what was the wind? What was
wind?
everything?
Exactly.
It's like understanding all these variables and try to understand like the context of the situation or the environment that you're in to try to kind of learn from it and see how they all relate to each other.
Yeah, because
So-
when we first started, it wasn't like that.
yeah, you said you started
Let's
with
go out
the
and-
Weber
let's go out and have
making
fun
chicken.
and they're gonna get drunk
pour,
and
pour some beer on it.
no
back
sleep,
to-
no sleep, and then you're there till the afternoon, Saturday evening,
Straight from the bar to the.
you're straight to the evening, and we're sucking wind at the hurry up 4 o'clock. Okay, what's brisket turkey? We're like,
let's
oh,
go
and then-
home.
yeah. So I mean, you learn a lot, and like I said, you
Get back to the party mode when you come. To
and I told and I said, I go, look, if we're gonna get serious, and all serious, I mean, when 3 years ago when we first started, all that, and when my dad got sick, that's when it got serious. When my dad got diagnosed with colon cancer, I said, you know what, I'm gonna take this seriously. I want him to be proud, of us.
But it
Especially
sounds like
me.
your dad enjoys it a lot.
Oh,
too. Like, it's-
because they brought us up,
Yeah.
they brought us up around. They've been around it even with my compa's dad too. That we learned from them.
I
yeah.
think he has all the trophies at his.
Yeah. He takes everything.
At his,
and
job.
hey,
His job.
where did our trophy? Oh, my dad took it.
Shot.
What? So I think that's when we started growing our beards, and because at that time he was doing some chemo stuff like that, and that was our thing. And that's when we had huge beards, and they were saying fear the beard, stuff like that. And that's when I think when we started going serious about it, and it just, like I said, it was an addiction.
Yeah.
And once you get that taste of success, I mean, it was just like, you know what, we want to win again. We want to hit. You want to see your friends win too, but the competitiveness,
Yeah, it's,
I want to be on top, but you could be second. You could be second
I could be
place.
first. You could be second.
I mean,
but I don't want to be second.
yeah.
and I
So-
don't want you to be first.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I mean, it was.
So-
PJ asked a question about the cost. I think we talked about that earlier. It is, pretty expensive.
It can be pretty
You know.
pricey, or it can be whatever you want.
Yeah,
right?
you
Like,
can-
you can make it whatever you want. You can start off with
Because even if you have a pit, you can use your backyard pit to start off with. I mean, you don't have to have a competition rig that's set up with everything. You can go out there with, like I said, your backyard pits and start. And I would say, don't overspend on meat too. You don't have to go out, like I said, because
the
we've
choice.
won.
It should be choice.
Yeah, we've gone out
Juniors,
before.
got it.
We gone to competition before with your normal, I would say mid-grade, mid-price, stuff, and won. So I would say do that and work on your flavor profiles. And I would say every cook-off also, let's just get you, aware of it. You're looking at 150 to 250. That's your average of entry fee.
Okay.
Okay, so with meat also, that's probably an extra $200 on top. So I would say $500 per cook-off.
That's
You're
what you
looking,
can
you're
expect.
looking at running that, and then you're not even, gas.
Yeah, your time and like
Right,
the
I'm
small
got
little
some
things.
beers,
Yeah.
extra meat.
$500
Yeah.
for beer alone.
Yeah, and then your
With me and my
wood.
friends. So.
Yeah, your wood, your charcoal. But I
Yeah.
would say that's why we've been blessed, like I said, with these sponsors and
good deal.
actually winnings to actually help us do what we love.
Yeah.
And like I said, you're looking, like I said, and that's when it started being like, this is serious. You're spending $500 to go cook.
Yeah.
You're not whatever. You want to win. You want to win some money back, or you want to do that because that's your time, and that's money out there. That and then, like I said, it's a lot of money to be won as well. Some people don't know how much money can be won. So I mean, if you have a good day, you can go take home a good $4,000 or $5,000 home on a Saturday. So I mean, there's some money to be made also on that end of the aspect of that, but it's pricey. It's expensive hobby, just like fishing is expensive. Tournament fishing, I'm pretty sure as well. I mean, I love to fish, but I don't know, I'm not lucky enough to have, all that stuff.
You're like me.
But I'm just, I'm a
don't win,
weekend, I go have fun. I enjoy the water too.
Yeah.
And then like, when we go out, I mean, I just love it. And just being out there, I could be out there the whole day.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, it's fresh because I'm used to the pit. Like I said, 130 and the asphalt and everything. So it's a good day on the water. And it's always a good day cooking too. I mean, it's never a bad
and
day.
these competitions, just so we can understand, like when you win, is there prizes associated with
There's
the money?
trophies, Yetis, coolers. There's plaques. There's monetary. There's free entries to other huge cook-offs around the United States. So we've been always invited to the one that Fred won, American Royal. We've been invited to Sunny's in Florida. They're invitations for grand champs, the winners of overall grand champs. So every time you win those, you get
invites.
These invites.
Okay.
Hey, come over here, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's been another one of our goals. Before we get old and gray, we can't do anything. We've been wanting to go to one of those cook-offs. I mean, we didn't have the timing, and with my little one and then his family, like it just hasn't met up where we can, because it's like we'll travel Tuesday. And you're probably not getting back till like the next Monday or Tuesday because you're going out there hauling, going safe travels, getting your meats, getting your setup. And some of those events are like 2 days. So you're there Saturday, Sunday. So they're picking up money, traveling back from wherever, Florida or whatever the case may be. Because we don't have friends over there like, hey, well, can I borrow your pit in Florida? Let me just fly. Let me just do that. And we got to haul our rig. Yeah. So it's expensive and I mean, not too bad, but it is pricey. Where one of these days, I mean, we have to just to see how it is. The feeding, I mean, and like I said, they're great cook-offs. It just, I believe we will be out there one of these days.
So Sam is asking about setting up a fishing and a grilling event. So I think that's there
was one, the tackle box actually, Fred was involved with. I don't know if it happened this year.
I'm not sure,
but they had a they call a hook and cook.
Okay.
It happened last year. We did it last year. I think we ended up getting third or fourth overall. Yeah,
because they do the fishing tournament results and the cooking. They try to do like an overall thing as well.
Yeah, so they kind of added.
So it's like one team and they're like out in the water, and another team.
And the head cook had to be on the boat as well.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same team.
He's cooking on the boat. He's
no. So I think Saturday was a cook-off, and then Sunday, the head cook would have to be on the boat.
Oh, cool, man!
And really cool. Then you get the results like that too.
But yeah, Sam, they do have it. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't do it this year or what happened, but I think it definitely was fun.
I mean, I can see where that would be a lot of work, man. Like it'd be like really difficult.
It's
like it's hard for like the participants, and it's hard for like even like the administrators. Like, how do we like normalize this across it? So, I honestly like I think it'd be really cool to have like within the fishing community like a fish competition, like a fish cook-off, right? So you talked about a half cooking reds on a half shell. I don't know if there's enough variants, whatever, but
you can come up with any kind of like an open category. Like you can turn in whatever fish.
Yeah, whatever fish you want, like that.
Fried or whatever, tartaro. I don't even know right
catan.
Anything like that, man. I mean,
so maybe we'll do something like that, Sam. Maybe we'll figure out a way to do something a fish cooking contest, and it's just something like.
Or even that fishing, the fishing and cooking. I mean, it was a good little turnout. So I mean, I think it could be done too.
Yeah. So actually, we talked about. He's all like, so Sam wants a 7-day tourney with a grilling event, a 7-day Apollo and 7-day tourney. So, man.
So who's Chillin N Grillin? Oh, I don't know, Eddie. Who is Chillin N Grillin?
So are you chilling or are you grilling?
There's always a debate between me and him. I would say
it just depends on the day of the week.
On the day of the week, Eddie.
I've seen them both chilling at one point or another.
And both chilling and none
and
grilling.
No grilling going on.
He's also saying, what's your funniest moment at a cook-off? There's too many, man. There's too many incidents that's happened to me. So that's a private. Those are private matters.
It sounds like
it could be
like a rock star kind of.
They could have been peeing on socks or boots and other stuff. There's a lot of things that happen.
That's funny you say that because I mean it shows that it's about having a good time. Like it's like not taking it serious. Like you're going out there, you want to compete, but you win. But like if you don't place, if you don't win, like you don't go home pissed off and like, damn, that screw, we're not to do this anymore. Like,
Yeah.
or like screw the judges or like whatever it is. So like, no, man, we came, we had a good time, and yeah, we just had fun, and you have these memories and these stories from it. So
I think it truly is. I mean, like he says over and over again, it is an addiction because he has called me and said, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore. You know, because you're competitive.
because
You're
we're like I
competitive.
said, we're competitive in nature.
But at the end of the day, like a day later, he's like, yeah, we're gonna cook next week.
yeah, that's it. And then it gets to the point like, hey, I don't know what to do anymore. But we're so
Should've
happy
used
with
less
that.
salt.
Yeah, we're so happy with our product. They were like, oh my god, why didn't that just hit? And then because we're our biggest critic,
Yeah.
you know, we're
Yeah.
ourselves, and we want to be perfect. And I know it is what it is, but we were hard on ourselves, and that's why I said sometimes I tell them I don't want to cook no more. I don't know what else to do, Fabian. I don't know what else to do. We thought it was amazing, and then we got like let's say seventh, eighth.
But we talked about it, right? I mean, you said like the judge variance,
never-
and
yeah.
that you don't know who the audience is, and
Try
like,
to
it's
be
hard
consistent
to
now.
target and like tailor to them because you
Yeah.
know who they're going to be. So, but so last thing I have. So when's your next event?
Well, this weekend, I think Eddie wanted to take. I have football, but he wanted to go out this weekend. But it might be this weekend. If not, it has to be after football. So it has to be like November.
Okay, and if you do something this
December.
weekend, where will that be at?
It's a matter of fact. I have it right here. It has to be. It's gonna be a skeet shoot and a cook off, I believe.
Oh, is that the
in-
one?
in
the
Edinburgh.
Bella one?
Yeah, the second annual. That's
Second annual SaberCat FFA booster and scholarship shoot 'em and cook 'em cook off, and at El Dorado Sports Clays
Oh,
on
by my
Floral
house.
Road. Oh, by your house, huh? Okay,
So that's we're hoping he'll be there, and then I'll join him later on during the day.
awesome.
But that'll be this weekend, Saturday.
There's an event, so even if you guys aren't there, there's going to be other teams.
Oh
that are
yeah,
there
I think they
competing,
said
so-
they already had like almost 30 teams out there
All right.
already pre-registered. They're going to be there cooking. So that was our goal is for him to be there, and then I'll meet up with him later. But as a duel, you want to see Chillin N
The
Grillin at
actual
its
team.
best.
At its best.
I mean, you don't want to see the 20% this weekend. And you want I would say like the end of November, I'll be available to actually we'll go full force again
Yeah.
after football season.
And so now, so how do people find you guys? They find you on
We have
Facebook?
Facebook, yeah, Chillin N Grillin on Facebook. Like I said,
Are you guys on Instagram also?
I don't even know if we know just Facebook.
Just
Just
Facebook,
Facebook,
okay.
yeah. I mean, we've gotten messages before from people not from here, and we've given some, our opinion or helped out kind of like that through Messenger.
Yep.
If they had any questions for us or what do we think about a product? Have you tried this? Have you tried this spice? Have you doing it this way or what? Like I said, when the pit thing too. How is that? How is it? How does it work? We've always and I'll show them there at the cook off. Hey, this is how it works.
Yeah.
We're full of, like I said, we've always given back. Like I said, because we've been helped out in that way from like I said, the barbecue family. So
other than just like helping out and providing feedback on like some products or your experience with them, I mean, you mentioned that you guys do some catering. So if someone wanted to get some,
yeah, you
catering,
can
maybe
message
through
us.
Facebook, is that where they
Hit
get
us up
hold
on
of you?
Facebook. Messenger and hit us up. And if we're able to, I mean, we'll let you know.
And catering is like the kind of stuff like, hey, I'm gonna have a
Quinceañera,
or
wedding, a
or-
party, an
or-
engagement or stuff like that. I mean, and it depends on what you want to, like I said, the meat or what kind of meat you want to be cooked at your party.
Yeah. So,
And the prices would go like some people, what's the cheapest route,
yeah.
It just, and then if we're able to, give me a date, and if we can, I'm pretty sure if it's not me, I mean, Eddie will say yes, because he really jumps on that. If someone needs help like that, if I'm not able to, he'll take over
Awesome.
and do that. But
Right.
yeah, through Facebook is the best way.
Okay. Well, so we look forward to talking to you again next time. Next time, hopefully, you have a few more championships under your belt, and
Hey.
you're in the store. Right? So, sorry, I got a call coming in, but yeah, we'll keep on staying in touch here,
Heck
and
yeah.
and we wish you the best of luck, and we look forward to continue to working with you guys and promoting you
yeah.
guys and helping you guys continue.
Appreciate
to grow.
everything.
So,
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to stay in touch. I mean, I will say this, here, I'm extremely proud to have these guys on our team, and I think our team now, to have him, them, Chillin N Grillin, and Sons of Smoke, those are two, like you said, not just great teams, but great people.
Yep.
I mean, just awesome people willing to help out, and I think that's
at the end of the day, like that's really what Fabian and I talked about. It's all about the people around there. So we want it we want people that are good at what they do, or not good, but passionate about what they do. But we want them to be great people too, right? So people that we could trust, people that we would call our family and have those kind of relationships too. So there's a lot of people that are good at what they do, and they're just horrible people.
Exactly.
And so like I would say like Antonio Brown or things like
Yeah, I know what you mean. They're good at what they do,
they're
but
good at what they do, but
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
about people, right? And someone like it's a shame. Some people like are really talented, but nobody wants them on their team, right?
Yeah.
And so we want we want people that are really passionate about what they do, and they're great people. And we don't really care about like you don't have to be the best athlete or whatever. We just want to have the people on the
Good
team,
people.
and the passion, right? And
Yeah.
people that have that addiction in them. And it's like I can strike out 100 times, but I'm still going to go at bat because I love
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love the process, and I love what I'm doing, and I love the passion, have passion around it. So
Yeah.
that's really what we're all about. And it's like for me, I mean, if I'm passionate about fishing, and I'd be the first to admit I don't catch very many fish, man.
Yeah.
I catch fish when I go with my friends, and they just take me and they tell me, "Hey, cast right there. There's fish right
Sure,
there.
they throw it
Okay,
right
yeah,
there.
throw it
Yeah,
right there."
yeah.
Or sometimes they cast it and they give me the rod, right? Like whatever. Like it doesn't matter. I have no,
Exactly.
whatever. I'm
You're
just
having-
out there to have a good time.
Having a
and
good time.
surround myself with great people. So, but anyways, but thanks again for coming out here, and we
problem.
look forward to keep on talking to you.
Heck yeah.
Check him out on Chillin N Grillin on Facebook. And if you guys got any value, you got like this, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to this channel. Actually, next time we come on this, we'll be doing it on our 7-Day Addiction Media. We've actually got a several guests here that we've been talking to that want to come on this show that we're trying to get scheduled out here. So once we get that firmed up, we'll confirm the dates with you guys. So again, thanks for coming out here.
Thank you all.
And thank you guys for watching this entire video. So we'll see you guys on the next one. All right.
Sure.
Thanks, boys. Oh, let me see. I'm still streaming here. Can't get this thing to stop streaming here. Yeah, now we can end it. Yep.